The lights are bright. Terry's playing has the mic in hand. The battle call comes from the stands. The pride is high and the cheers are loud. Get ready for some football, cause Terry Spain is on the call. If a hit and play by play, the helmet's all wrong, pads strapped on tight. Teams are battle ready. It's Friday night on the road or right at home. With Terry and Zane on your screen, scream and cheer for your team. Friends and family gather round for the best coverage around the town. Terry Spain is on the mic. He's bringing in love for Friday night. A Friday night. It's Friday night. Well, it's Friday night. The lights are bright. Terry Spain has the mic in hand. The battle call comes from the stands. The pride is high and the cheers are loud. Get ready for some football, cause Terry Spain is on the call. Hit for hit and play by play. The helmet's all wrong, pads strapped on tight. Teams are battle ready. It's Friday night on the road or right at home. With Terry and Zane on your screen. Scream and cheer for your team. Friends and family gather round for the best coverage around the town. Terry Spain is on the mic. He's bringing in love for Friday night. Well, look for Friday night. A Friday night. Well, look for Friday night.
And welcome to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia here from Tiger Stadium, home of the Cocoa Tigers, Eau Gallie and Cocoa. First, before we preview this game, we want to shout out Ron Lighthall for making us that awesome song, Terry. That's pretty cool right there.
Democracy and justice around the world. President Donald Trump. We wanted to extend a special thank you to the Military Officers Association.
Yeah, I definitely like that song, and I think that fits our Friday night type of vibe, especially on a game like this. Cocoa and Eau Gallie, two of the county's best, two of really the state's best. Cocoa comes in at number 34 in the state, number 1 in the county. They haven't lost a game since 2019, Terry, 28 games straight in county. How does Eau Gallie stop it tonight?
Please rise for the presentation of colors, followed by the national anthem. Please remove all hats. All members of the armed forces and veterans may render a military salute in the manner provided for individuals in uniform. Please remain standing.
And we have the national anthem coming right now, so we will pause momentarily as the Cocoa High School color guard comes out to present the colors.
The color guard commander is First Lieutenant Sidonia Allen, accompanied by Master Sergeant Lillian Beckner, Sergeant Duncan Gage, Staff Sergeant Sebastian Fernandez. The Saber Guard commander is Staff Sergeant Karma Lechner, accompanied by Master Sergeant Henry Payton, Private Louis Knight, Private Miles Kidoa, Private Ingrid Corrado, Private Mario Cordova. And our national anthem will be performed by the Cocoa High School Corps.
Great performance there by the Cocoa Chorus as they finish off that national anthem, and we are getting ready to start here. Terry, talk a little bit about this game. Obviously, both these teams being the top two teams are in Brevard County, really. I know it matters to both teams. It seems like it matters a little bit more to Eau Gallie, not only to end that win streak, but to prove that without their quarterback, Joseph Allen, they are still a team to be reckoned with.
Yeah, Eau Gallie lost their quarterback early, and so now they had a couple games under their belt to function without him. But this game is huge for both teams. You got the rights, you got everything. Coco's 27-28 game victory. Every team in the game. And Eau Gallie, hey, we have a really good team this year. We got some D1 players. We got some talented players on our team. And we're going to come on your field and we're going to show you just how talented we are.
Well, last week it was a story of Cocoa getting the game from Heritage to their home field, and they went on to win that one 37-0. Kind of got their mojo back a little bit after really 3 weeks that were a little bit sluggish. So now they face an Eau Gallie team who's coming off of a loss themselves, 12-8 to the First Academy. However, Eau Gallie forced 5 turnovers in that ball game and really made their mark on defense. So it'll be kind of interesting tonight to see which side can make the big turnovers, which side can make the big offensive plays, and really get the offense going. So really two different tales, one side without a quarterback and one side still, I guess you could say, trying to figure out their quarterback situation. So it'll be a really, really interesting battle between the top two teams in the county tonight. Tell us a little bit about the keys to victory for both sides, Terry. What do we have tonight?
Yeah, with Cocoa, you have to start fast because you're at home. You don't want to get, bogged down and be down 14-0 or 21-0 or have a running clock, right?
Right.
So they're going to have to start fast, but also they're going to have to force Eau Gallie into a passing offense because, as we talked about before, Eau Gallie does not have their quarterback for the rest of the season, and they're doing it with excellent play. Larice, but they want to make him throw the ball if they can, and last but certainly not least, they have to limit the big plays from Larice and Corbin, the sensational freshman.
Yeah, we've seen him make his plays in pretty much every single game. Orville and I were on the call just a week ago as Eau Gallie hosted TFA. They kind of shut down Corbin. Now, Corbin has really 3 games, you could say 4 games under his belt. He's just a freshman. But to see someone as impactful for a team this early in the season as a freshman is really, really incredible. So a bright future for that young man. And we're going to see tonight if Cocoa can slow him down as well as Larice. I think both sides really need to start early. I think more importantly, it's Cocoa that needs to start early because, frankly, their offense has not been in rhythm yet. And that's one thing that they'll try to solve tonight against a really stymie Eau Gallie defense. But on the flip side, we know Eau Gallie is going to be run heavy. They're not going to be able to throw the ball very much. So does Cocoa kind of take a page out of Vero Beach's playbook and just stack the box with 9 players and really force Eau Gallie to throw it and throw it early?
Yeah, I mean, they could try to do that, but, I mean, you got to look at it. Vero Beach had a really great defense. So you don't want to base it off. Yeah, you could take bits and pieces from other teams that had beaten this team, but you got to keep in mind, too, Vero Beach had beaten both teams. So they probably both are going to be taking some pages out of Vero Beach's defense and offense to help them, the winner, prevail in tonight's game.
Some other games around the county on Space Coast Daily, especially Holy Trinity at Astronaut tonight. That'll be Orville Susong and Zach Clark on the call. That will be an exciting one as well. I think that Holy Trinity coming in with a 3-1 record probably feels like, hey, we nearly upset Titusville. We can probably get past the War Eagles tonight. But Astronaut, they just beat Space Coast pretty handily last weekend, so they're probably feeling a little bit confident themselves. So I think that'll be a pretty good game to watch as well. Another game on Space Coast Daily tonight, Merritt Island versus St. Cloud. That'll fare to be a really good one. Both sides are coming in with pretty confident teams, and I think that Merritt Island is going to want this one a little bit more than St. Cloud, especially having to stand up and represent for Brevard County. So all around the county, we got some good games this evening. But right here is the Space Ghost Daily Game of the Week. The Cocoa Tigers and the Eau Gallie Commodores from Tiger Stadium. Both teams are about to head to midfield right now. Captains for both sides for your Cocoa Tigers is CJ Hester, 4-star defensive back. You have number 8 defensive back Duran Guilford. You have number 50, that is Redman Thompson, Chavaris Redman Thompson. And number 20, that is O'Keefe Battle. You'll see him play both sides. He's primarily a defensive back, but you'll see him play both sides of the ball. For your Eau Gallie Commodores, Xavier Larice, all-around athlete. You'll see him pretty much play any position that Coach Sand says, go do it.
Play. Yeah, he does it all, but that's what you want. You want a player that can do it all. If you need him to go punt, kick field goals, anything, he can go out there and do it. So this game is going to be Zane, I'm so excited right now because this is what everybody wanted to see. The 2 top teams in the county put up or shut up. So This is when you lay it all out on the line and see who prevails at the end.
Well, both of these sides have seen each other over the past couple of years, but it's been Cocoa. As we mentioned, they are on a 28-game in-county win streak right now. So not Eau Gallie, not Titusville, not Heritage, not Rockledge, not Vieira, not anybody can beat this Cocoa team. Eau Gallie's trying to prove it tonight. Merritt Island almost did it week 1.
Yes.
And brought them to double overtime, but was unable to finish it off. However, Eau Gallie coming in here, they really have something to prove, and that's what we mentioned earlier. Can they still compete without star quarterback Joseph Allen?
Yeah, but you know what? You talked about all these teams that came close to beating Cocoa. I mentioned this in weeks in the past, is every time you play the state champions, you're going to get your best effort from that team. And so with Eau Gallie, they're going to have to bring their best tonight. They have a lot of talent. They're kind of equally matched, even without their starting quarterback. So I'm excited to see how this is going to turn out. But I tell you what, I don't predict it's going to be a running clock. I think it's going to be a very evenly matched game, but we shall see.
I predict we're going to have a 4-quarter game right here. Eau Gallie coming in 2-2, Cocoa coming in 2-2. Both teams are wanting some respect. Cocoa, obviously, they've won 3 straight state championships, so you could kind of say, yes, we've earned our respect, but they dropped 2 games in a row. And I could tell you right now, nobody expected them to lose at home to a mainland team. Yes, they are competitive, but they beat that team handily last year, so very surprising to lose that one at home. You can say what ifs. What if they still had Brady Hart for a year? But you could also say, what if Joseph Allen had never gone down for the Commodores? So really either side can say what if. Yeah,
you're absolutely correct. So Javion Hilson, Javion Boggs, Brady Hart, those guys are not coming back on the field right now. But it's very interesting to see how Cocoa is going to come out, because people are they're not the clear-cut favorites. And so they've got a chance to boast these banners. Let's see if they're gonna go ahead and produce tonight.
So the kickoff goes, and Tank White picks it up. He's knocked out of bounds around the 15-yard line. So Eau Gallie kicks off first. They will receive to start the second half. It's going to be Champ Smith who's taking the snaps at quarterback for the Tigers. There was some, I guess, call for Troy Silberzon, but Champ Smith, my correction. It is Troy Silberzon taking the snaps at quarterback.
You spoke him up, Zane.
I did. It is Troy Silberzahn taking the snaps at quarterback for Cocoa. There was some call for him because Champ Smith just hadn't found the groove and rhythm yet.
Right.
And now it is Troy Silberzahn who will take over. First snap, he's going to take it straight up the middle. He's got some room to run.
Yeah, he took a nasty hit, too. You don't want your quarterback to take hits like that because he's going to feel it this entire game.
He is. That was a big hit right there on first down. So it's going to be about second and medium. So Gallie in the all-white uniforms tonight. Cocoa in the black and orange. And what a beautiful night for football, Terry. You couldn't ask for better weather.
Absolutely amazing. I was glad it wasn't raining or anything, so this is perfect.
That's O'Keefe's battle. He took the handoff in the backfield. He tried to reverse field, didn't really have much room to run. I'll tell you, Terry, we've seen this Eau Gallie team. You try to run sideline to sideline, you're not really going to be able to do it against them.
No, they have speed, and good job on the defense for staying disciplined. You eyes get kind of looking in the backfield, and you don't know who has the ball, but good job on Eau Gallie's defense for staying true to who they are and making that tackle. It was a group effort.
It was. The offense looking to the sideline for the play call. It's the 3rd down and 2. Handoff, and that goes nowhere. That's big number 44 for the Eau Gallie Commodores. That's Jason Malidor. And that's a big early stop for Eau Gallie.
Huge. And this is what happens when you switch quarterbacks. You know, you don't have the rhythm. You know, watching Cocoa sometimes is like watching a team dance for the first time. They're dancing, they got the steps, but they don't have the rhythm. And this is what Cocoa's having. They have the steps. They're good dancers, but they don't have the rhythm right now. So they're going to have to really get a chance to get out there, get their rhythm back, and go out there and produce.
Hard to replace 2 players back-to-back years being Mr. Football in the state of Florida.
Yeah, and Brady Hart and Javion Boggs, right?
Very, very hard to replace that. So it looks like we're going to have an early timeout.
I'll tell you what, though, this game is absolutely amazing. I mean, when these two teams meet, it's not local bragging rights, Zane. It's county pride on every single snap. County pride on every snap.
It is, and, you know, I think Cocoa being the defending champs, they look at this game and they say, hey, it's just another game on the schedule to us. We have some bigger opponents ahead of us. Gallie's like, you know what, we're ready, and we're ready to make our mark. So that punt really takes an Eau Gallie bounce as it bounces back towards midfield. It's going to be the Eau Gallie Commodores with 9:29 left in this first quarter, taking over at the 49-yard line. Terry, that's phenomenal field position for the Eau Gallie offense to start out with.
Yeah, remember I told you before, in order for Eau Gallie to win this game, they're going to have to win on all phases of the game. Special teams, the Cocoa helped them out because that was a good kick, but it was definitely a better kick for Eau Gallie, and they're like, we'll take it anytime, you know. So that field position starting on almost at the 50 is perfect. You can't get any better than that.
So it is Mr. Do-It-All, Xavier Larice, taking the snaps at quarterback for the Commodores. He's got Donovan Richardson in the backfield with him. Richardson has a little bit of wiggle room, and he gets up for about a 5-yard gain. And that's one of our keys to success and keys to victory for Eau Gallie. If you're going to run the ball, you're going to have to run it hard, and you're going to have to be successful with it, because Cocoa, especially on that front line, they're known to be nasty. And I don't mean nasty like rude. I mean nasty like they're going to dog you.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. But Eau Gallie has to mix it up, too. They're going to have to throw some runs and some fake plays, trick plays, in order to win this game.
Another handoff right up the middle to Richardson. He's going to pick up for about 4 yards, and we're going to have a 3rd and about 1.5 here. 8:40 left in this first quarter. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia here from Tiger Stadium, home of the Cocoa Tigers. This is the Space Coast Daily Game of the Week between the Cocoa Tigers and the Eau Gallie Commodores, number 1 and number 2 in Brevard County, and respectively number 44 for the Eau Gallie Commodores and number 34 for the Cocoa Tigers in the state of Florida. So 2 teams within the top 45 in the state of Florida. And that's going to be Corbin on the left side. And he's going to get flipped, but he picks up the first down. So Eau Gallie on their first possession, a first down.
Yeah,
Cocoa unable.
Yeah, and they look like they're complacent. They look like they're fine with running the ball. And, Corbin, he took a nasty fall on that. That's youth, though. If that was me falling, Zane, I probably would have felt it for the next 3 weeks. But for him having that youth, that's actually a good thing because he popped right back up there and stretched his arm out for the first down.
So setting up right about the 39-yard line, Eau Gallie will have 1st and 10. And it's going to be a rollout pass. It looks like Larice is going to keep it. And he fumbles, but it's going to go out of bounds, so Eau Gallie will retain possession.
Yeah, that was dangerous. But, it looks like Larice wanted to hurdle him. He looked like he was starting to hurdle, but the guy came a little bit higher than he expected, so he just took the contact. And it was a good hit on the defense as well. If that ball was not out of bounds, that would have been definitely a momentum shift if Cocoa was able to get that ball.
Yeah, if you're Eau Gallie, you got to be careful with not only the fumble, but you got to be careful with Larice taking it, because when you lose him, it's like, wow, I'm losing a kicker. I'm losing a quarterback. I'm losing a wide receiver, a running back. You're losing everything.
A captain. You're losing everything.
So about a 7-yard gain on the play. It's going to have 2nd and 3. And there's going to be a pitch out to Corbin. He's got some room to run. And he takes a nice cut up the middle. And he gets down to about the 15-yard line. That was a really good run there by Corbin.
Zane, this young man, I love watching him run. This young man is amped. You hear me? I know he purposely had this game circled on his calendar because he wanted. You could tell by the way he runs. He's running angry. He's running hard. And that's what you want if you're Eau Gallie. You see that and you're like, yeah, keep running it, young freshman. Keep running it. He's going to have a big game tonight. I'm already calling it early. I know it's early in the first quarter, but this young man is going to have one heck of a game tonight.
Anybody that's tuned in, give us some score predictions that you think that this game will end up being. That is going to be Corbin on the outside, and he's going to get into the end zone. Wow, what a second effort.
Did I call him up or what?
Wow.
You can tell by the way.
Wow.
Look what he's doing. He's excited. He's going to get the penalty. But you know what? If you're the coach, sometimes you got to live with that. But the freshman's going to have to learn that this game is bigger than you. And so you don't do that right now. And the coach is right now giving them an earful right now because you have to act like you've been there before. I know he's excited, and I'm excited for him. But that may cost you extra point or something if you miss this because you have to get taken back a little bit. But you know what? Not taking anything away from his run, this young man runs hard. He runs angry, like I mentioned before. And Cocoa, if they're not careful, he's going to have over 150 yards tonight.
Well, with 6:18 left in the first quarter, it is the Commodores that strike first. There was an unsportsmanlike penalty.
There's a flag.
Where?
On the field.
So it looks like Cocoa is going to elect to have that 15-yard penalty on the kickoff. Smart idea.
Yes.
Give your team some great field position. Eau Gallie is going to go for the 2-point conversion. We've seen earlier in the year they've had some struggles with their kicking game, so they're going to go for 2 right here.
It's still early, so I wouldn't be yep.
There's a little pop pass, and it is T.J. Monroe, but there's a flag on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like a holding that Commodores did. That's why he was able to move around a little bit. But they're going to have to. I know Coco's probably going to push them back if they take this penalty.
Yep, there's going to be a holding call. Will move them back. So instead of it being 8 points, they're going to now attempt an extra point to try to make it 7, which I don't think that you're going to go for the 2-point conversion from the 13-yard line.
No, you don't need to. But actually, this is actually a good thing for your kicker because this gives you that extra rep that you need. Kickers always need reps. And so if he wants to stay on the field and kick extra points, he's going to have to make this.
And it is blocked. And we've already seen a couple of kicks this year by Eau Gallie that got blocked. So that's not only a protection thing, but that's a kicker thing, saying, hey, if you're going to take this extra point or you're going to kick a field goal, you need to get it up.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you remember I mentioned about Eau Gallie needs to win this game. With Cocoa, it's the same exact thing. And special teams is one of the things I mentioned before with the phases of the game. And good job on Cocoa for blocking that kick. Even though they're down 6-0, they didn't let that touchdown hold them back. The special teams came out there and played, and they did exactly what they needed to do and block the extra point. So good job on Cocoa for blocking the extra point.
So the touchdown comes via about a 14-yard rush by Xavier Corbin. The phenom freshman now has I believe that's his 7th touchdown of the year in the first 4 and a quarter, not even a quarter yet, games for this freshman. I said it, he's the #1 freshman in the country.
In his class, right?
Maybe I was just saying that. I don't know if there's a real ranking, but he's shown why he is a very, very talented freshman.
If he's not the #1 freshman in his class, he's probably one of the top freshmen in the state.
Yes.
Because you got to look at it. Texas and California and the Carolinas, they produce a lot of great players as well. So, but he's definitely lobbying to be the #1 player in his class in the entire nation.
So that was a false start on Eau Gallie. So a team that was already kicking from the 25-yard line is now going to back it up. They'll be kicking from, I believe, the 20 now. And really, this is going to set up Cocoa with fabulous field position. They should be able to, if they can get a good return, Terry, they might be looking at starting within Eau Gallie's 40-yard line.
Yeah.
So it is squibbed and picked up. Trying to go outside. Not really much room to run for Tank White, but they're going to start at the 50.
Field position. You're at the 50, you can't get any better than that. That's what you're looking for. Very similar to what Eau Gallie, they started at the 48 when they started. So let's see if they'll be able to capitalize and turn this into points as well. And once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. Juan Rodriguez is in. So many folks. Go ahead and make your score prediction. What do you think tonight's score is going to be? And also, shout out where you're watching us at, whether you're watching us in another state, in Brevard County, in Florida. Shout out where you're watching us at, because we definitely want to hear.
Silberzon goes back out there with the offense. They're in the shotgun, but the snap is going to go to the running back. So that's going to be number 21. That's Zaylen Chappell, who takes the direct snap and goes for about 3, maybe 4 on the run. Zaylen Chappell had a pretty good game last week, scored a touchdown against Heritage. And he's going to be one of those guys you'll see take carries, catch passes. He's going to do a little bit of everything for this Cocoa Tigers team. So Troy's going to run it right up the middle, and Silberzon is going to take it for about 6.5. It looks like they're going to give him the first down, and that will be the first down of the game for the Cocoa Tigers.
Yeah, and you gotta look at that as a win. But you know what? I think we're going to see a lot of running in this game tonight. We talked about them being able to run the ball. I think they're pretty complacent. It's a little windy up here, so they definitely don't want to get any interceptions. Because I'll tell you right now, Eau Gallie would definitely love nothing but to get an interception.
So there's a swing pass, and that actually was nearly intercepted, like you said, Terry.
Yeah, and there's a flag.
Where?
On the field. And I can tell you that's probably offensive pass interference.
I could agree with you right there. When you have a screen setup, it's pretty hard to keep a cornerback contained for so long.
Yeah.
So actually a week ago, Eau Gallie and TFA, you saw TFA throw a screen in their own end zone. Kind of question mark as to why you would throw a screen in your own end zone.
Yeah.
And it was Actually, a heads-up play by the cornerback for Eau Gallie in getting a safety. So
I tell you what, man, these cheerleaders for Cocoa Tigers, they are amped. You know, they are hype, and I love to see that. You know, these young ladies come out here and lay it all on the line just like these players do. So shout out to the cheerleaders. They're playing they're cheering a lot, and the band as well.
So it'll be 1st and 20 for the Tigers. Silverzon steps back to throw, and he's got a receiver down the middle. That is Tank White. And he's going to get about 17 on the plays. So
I'll tell you what, Tank got hit by a tank just now, but hey, this happens when two tanks collide.
and this is what the Cocoa Tigers have been missing over the past 4 weeks is a downfield passing game. Now, we've seen them throw those swing passes and screens. That's more of an extension of the running game, but they've been looking for the downfield passing, and it looks like they have found it. Zaylen Chappell still on his feet. He's going to pick up the first down on a gain of about 5. And that was an incredible run there, Terry. He got hit once, twice, and kept on running.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, he was determined not to go down, man. It was like ping pong. You know, he kept bouncing off of one person, but he stayed on his feet. And good job to that running back, man, that young man for definitely staying on his feet.
So Cocoa with a 1st and 10 now at the 28-yard line of Eau Gallie, trying to match Eau Gallie touchdown for touchdown with 4:28 left in this first quarter. There's another handoff right up the middle. About a 4 or 5 yard gain right there on first down.
Yeah, and it looks like the running back slipped a little bit. We didn't get any rain today, so I don't know if it's just a cleats thing or he just tripped over his feet. But if he was able to keep his balance, he might have hit his head on the goalpost.
Yeah, he had some room to run up the middle. But you can't ask for, other than a touchdown, for a better gain on first down. 5 yards is staying on schedule. It's going to be Silverzon taking the keeper up the middle. And
yeah, I think they're complacent with the run, Zane. It's been working, so if it's not broke, don't fix it, you know. But I think that they're going to have to shake it up a little bit too, because what's going to happen is Eau Gallie's going to start creeping up a little bit, but that's when you throw it over their heads.
It is, and I think if you're Cocoa, you really do want to establish your run game early because that's what opens up your pass. So Cocoa trying to get that run game going and get it going early. There's a handoff right up the middle. Not really much room to run there. Chappell takes the handoff, and it's Gabe Player and number 9, that is Caden Jacquez for the Commodores in there on the tackle.
Yeah, there's a lot of people watching this game tonight, Zane. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Sherrod Thompson, thank you for tuning in. Troy Patrick, Martell Stevens, Troy Patrick, thank you all for watching, and everybody else who's watching. We're going to continue to call and shout you all out tonight, but make sure you tune in and shout out where you're from and put some score predictions down there. We want to see what you think tonight's score is going to be between these two teams.
Silverzon rolls out. He's got a tunnel screen. And that is C.J. Hester, and he makes a move and gets in for a touchdown. C.J. Hester, the 4-star defensive back. He is committed to Florida, but he'll play both sides of the ball. And he made a nice move there, Terry, and got into the end zone.
Yes, C.J. Hester made it look very easy. But you know what? He looked like Devin Hester on that play.
He did.
You know, who was a Hurricane and a Chicago Bear. But what a run, man. Elusive. He hit the L2 button just like he did in Madden, and he's in the end zone.
Yeah, great play design there by the Tigers. You let all the offensive linemen stand up, and the field goal is good. So they are going to take the lead 7-6 here in the first quarter with 2:34 left. We're going to be seeing a back-and-forth game. I think that this one's going to come down to the ending. I think both sides are really, really ready to hit but also score touchdowns. So both sides should be firing on all cylinders all night long.
Well, this is what we were asking for. You know, the weather is great. It's not hot. We don't have that much humidity out here either. And the score is 7-6. But what a difference a kick make, you know what I mean? And initially, if they didn't have the penalty, they were going to be up 8. Eau Gallie was going to be up 8-7. But special teams, you're going to definitely have to show up, and the kicker is going to definitely have to show up. But these linemen that are up front are going to have to keep these defensive linemen's hand down when they're kicking these extra points.
Yes, indeed. So 7-6 start. Cocoa Tigers take the lead on the extra point. Will that point matter later in the game is a big question. We'll see what happens later as this one starts to close in on the final.
Yeah, I think if Eau Gallie scores again, they're going to be willing to go ahead and go for 2 here.
Lucas Viselli takes the kickoff return up to about the 44-yard line, 45-yard line. So another really good spot for Eau Gallie's offense to take over. And they're going to try to do what they did on last drive and run it right down the Tigers' throat and see if they can put another touchdown on the board.
One of the things that I noticed in this game is that Cocoa lets the middle open, wide open, almost every defensive play. So if Eau Gallie can recognize that, they have the middle open, but I know they're complacent with running the ball, especially when you got Xavier Larice and Corbin out there. But if you can somehow get that middle and attack that middle, you'll be smooth sailing.
It's going to be Larice, Corbin in the backfield with him. Larice is going to go out that left side. He's got some room to run, and he's going to pick up about 25. So,
or you can do that, Zane.
Larice is a do-it-all player. Oregon commit, but after a game like this with scouts watching,
there's tons of scouts
who
watching.
knows how many teams
man.
and how many schools are going to be wanting this guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of scouts watching them for both teams.
Yep.
There's a lot of talent on both sides of the field. And these young men, they came to play. We did 2 laps around the track, and you could see it in their eyes, and they had that look of determination. So, battle of the county.
Yep. There's a handoff right to Corbin again. He bounces off a tackler. We're going to have a flag thrown in on the play, so that'll probably be a hold if I had to guess.
There's a lot of people out here in tonight's game. I love it. I love to see a lot of the fans come out and see these young men play football, high school football at that.
And you know that not just Cocoa fans and Eau Gallie fans are out here. There's regular football fans out here because this is one of those games that whether you like both teams or you like one team or you like the other, you're going to come out and watch some really good football. So,
and we want to thank Damone Jackson watching all the way from Thailand.
Wow.
I spent some time in Thailand during my days, so thank you for tuning in from Thailand.
So back up after the holding call. It'll be 1st and 20. Larice takes the handoff, goes right up the middle, and he's got room to run. And he's going to get about a gain of 12 on 1st and 20. And I'll tell you right now, Terry, we had that marked on our keys to victory. You got to stop the X's.
Yeah.
Meaning Xavier Corbin and Xavier Larice. And if you can't stop the X's, you're in trouble.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a long night for you if you can't stop these 2 young men.
Larice with a good run there. He gets up to about the 31-yard line, actually a little bit more than I said, excuse me. It was about a gain of 14, so trips down at the bottom of the screen. It's a handoff to Donovan Richardson, and wow, he carries a couple of defenders, and he gets to about the 34.5-yard line, so we're going to have a 3rd and inches. And right here, if you're the Commodores, you got a strong Xavier Larice right there. I wouldn't mind doing a little QB sneak or, I guess, tush push. We'd like to shout out Shane Lewis watching all the way from Pittsburgh.
The Berg.
Saying, go Cocoa. Larice is going to roll out, and he's got TJ Monroe, but there's going to be a flag on the play as well. So I think that's going to be a hold. And I can tell you right now, Terry, the holds are coming from Eau Gallie's offensive line. They're not expecting Larice to roll out that fast. And when you have a quarterback that rolls out of the pocket, obviously the defensive line is going to be in pursuit, and the offensive line doesn't know that he rolls out. So when he rolls out, you have the defensive line trying to get away, and the offense is not trying to hold. It's just what it is, you know.
Yeah, and if you're Larry, you got to realize that you only needed a couple inches. You know, you don't have to throw that. Just go ahead and run it out of bounds and live to fight another day. Unfortunately, there was a holding call, but he'll learn from that as well, as far as, you know, knowing when to throw the ball and knowing when to keep it and run and help your team out.
So that's a big holding call right there as it backs Eau Gallie up to the Tigers' 36-yard line. It's going to make it a 3rd and 11 here. Because of the penalty, this will be the last play of the first quarter. Larice will take it right up the middle, and he's going to get stuffed for about a gain of 4. So that's going to be the end of the first quarter. It will be the Cocoa Tigers 7 and the Eau Gallie Commodores 6. So as we move to quarter number 2, we are going to take a quick little break. And once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily.
Space Coast Daily is Brevard's most trusted news. Through spacecoastdaily.com and Space Coast Daily's social media reach, hundreds of thousands of people stay informed every day. Through Space Coast Daily's unmatched digital reach with the Space Coast Daily's direct mail newspaper and Space Coast Daily the magazine in print, our loyal and engaged viewers enjoy free local news they can trust every day. And all at no charge, thanks to our successful advertising clients. And also at our special events at Space Coast Daily Park in Vieira, where hundreds of thousands of people see our clients' advertisements. Call today to get your message seen on Space Coast Daily and take your business to new heights. Get launched with.
And welcome back. This is the start of the second quarter here from Tiger Stadium. And the Commodores are going to go for it on about a 4th and 8. Larice steps back to pass. He has some room to run. Will he run? He will. He's going to cut up, and he's going to get the first down and more. And he's going to get all the way down to about the 3-yard line. But, Terry, we have a flag on the play. I believe it's going to come back once again for another hold.
If this is on the offense, you can't win like this. Your quarterback just gave you a magnificent run. And for you to get another penalty, the coach has got to be beside himself right now.
Well, there's got to be some communication between Larice and his offensive line because, like I said, when you have a quarterback that rolls out, the defensive line, they're paying attention to what Larice is doing. They're going to watch him the entire time, and when they see him roll out, they're in pursuit. And it's hard for the offensive line to really realize that, so instinctually they're just blocking and they hold, and it's not an intentional hold. It's just an accidental hold because the quarterback has already rolled out of the pocket. That's going to have to be a communication between not only Sands and his team but Larice as well. So Larice tries to do a little rugby-style punt and does not get a hold of it well. So the Cocoa Tigers, with 11:32 left in this second quarter, will take over on offense at about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that was not a good kick at all. You know, but this is what the fatigue comes in. You got this young man playing all these different positions. You have to give him a little break, but his leg got a little heavy there, and obviously the kick wasn't as good as he would like to have been.
Well, that's an unfortunate hold for a Commodores team that really got all the way down to the 3-yard line. A magnificent run by Larice, brought back by a hold. But the Tigers are going to take over here from their own 30. It is still Silberzon.
I think they're going to keep going with him because I noticed ever since he's been in the game, the offense has picked up a lot.
It's ran smoother for sure. There was a run right up the middle, and that does not go anywhere.
Disciplined defense. And one of the things I've seen from Eau Gallie is that they're not getting stuck in with their eyes in the backfield. They're hitting the ball, they see the ball, they hit ball. Even with all these trickery plays that Coco is trying to do on the field, Eau Gallie's been disciplined. So shout out to the defensive coordinators. They're out here, they're up here watching the game just like we are, and they got to be impressed with what their defense has been doing so far.
Well, you would think this is going to be a battle of the defenses. The offense have scored. Both have scored in the first quarter, so let's see if the defenses can settle in a little bit. Coco changing the formation. They got trips left. That should have been a false start.
Yeah. I don't know. I think the refs, I don't know if they got caught lost in the shuffle or what have you, but that was definitely a false start. They missed one on that one.
Yeah, false start or illegal motion, whatever you want to call right there. There was some confusion about the lineup of the wide receivers, so movement there, but no call. Silberzon takes it up the middle, doesn't get anything, so it's going to be about a 3rd and 8 here for the Tigers on their own 33. Trips at the bottom of your screen. Silberzon steps back, and he was throwing it for, that was O'Keefe's Battle that was going to be the intended receiver, but it looks like they said, hey, we got to give you a makeup call for that last one that we didn't call, and I believe that's going to be a false start, Terry.
Yeah, I mean, there's flags all over the field tonight. I tell you what, we talked about it. If the referees don't get anything out of it, they're going to be pretty good at cornhole because they've been tossing this flag pretty good. So,
Yep.
You would hate to see this many penalties in this particular portion of the season. They're going to have to clean this up, especially if both teams want to make a statement in the playoffs, hopefully. So
Yep.
they're going to have to definitely polish up their penalties.
So the false start moves the Tigers back 5 yards. They'll be looking at a 3rd and 13 now. Trips at the bottom of your screen. Silberzon going to go deep, and it is intercepted by Eau Gallie. And that is number 22.
That was Darnell Tolbert.
That is Tolliver on the interception. He takes it to inside the 30-yard line, and that is a massive, massive play for the Commodores right there.
Yeah, Tolliver, he was like, thank you. He wasn't even expecting that, and I honestly thought that the wide receiver was going to catch that. Right place, right time. He took the ball, and he definitely helped out his team. Eau Gallie needed that because they were looking like they were getting ready to fall behind a little bit. But what I tell you about momentum, it doesn't wear a jersey, but you could definitely tell what sideline it's standing on.
That was a momentous play right there for the Commodores. The intended receiver was Tank White, and the throw looked to be a little bit behind him. It was a catchable ball. Should have been caught, but the throw a little bit offline, and Tolliver just standing there, just happened to be there, Terry, says, thank you, I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, he's over there on the sideline just smiling as he can because I'm telling you, that shows up in the stats. That's what the defensive coordinators look at. A lot of people say defensive backs can't catch. He proved them wrong.
Larice trying to run outside. He hurdles a defender and is going to be pushed out of bounds at about the 17.
I'll tell you what, you want to see these two players battling up against each other, Battle and Larice, because they're some really top talent, right?
They are.
And you could tell that both of each other, they hit each other like they don't like each other at all because the hit and the tackle was both violent.
It was. So it'll be 2nd and about 6 here from the 24-yard line. 8:45 left in this second quarter. Commodores trying to get back on the scoreboard and take the lead. It's going to be a little pitch pass. C.J. Monroe has the right side. He cuts upfield and makes another cut, and he's going to get down to about the 10-yard line. So a big gain there for Monroe. Monroe's another guy. He's not going to he's not going to make any flashy plays, but his speed and his cutback ability is going to get him yards in bunches, Terry.
Yeah, he's a shifty player, you know. And he was like, look, I want more. I want more. Give it to me. And they're going to give it to him. If he's running like that, the offensive coordinator is going to dial his number plenty of times tonight. They need as much plays as they can get because I'll tell you right now, Coco is not going to roll over and play dead.
They are not. So from the 11-yard line, Eau Gallie is going to have 1st and 10. It's going to be a direct snap to Monroe. He has the right side and gets about 5. He was tripped up there. That is a touchdown-saving tackle right there by O'Keefe's Battle. O'Keefe's Battle doesn't trip him up right there, Terry. He's in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, and you know he's disappointed, and he's still over there lobbying to get his number called again.
He is lobbying for it, wanting to get the ball once more. We're at the 7.5 mark here left in the second quarter. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Monroe takes it up the middle, fights for more yardage, and gets down to about the 4.5. So that'll set up a 3rd down, and this is interesting right here. You have 3rd down and 3. They're going to be expecting run. Terry, I think that this is when you draw up that 3rd and inches play that they tried earlier. You tried this little play action, get your guy rolling out maybe into the left side of the end zone and hit him.
Well, you got 2 players, well, actually 3 players that you can hand the ball off to, or you can let the quarterback just run. They got a nice formation which obviously simulates that they're going to run the ball.
It's going to be Corbin. He has the outside, and he is going to have the end zone. So Corbin with his 2nd touchdown of the night and gives the Commodores a 5-point lead now.
Zane, I told you, this young man is going to have himself a night. So now he has 8 touchdowns, you know, for the season. As a freshman?
Yeah, that's incredible.
That you don't see that too often. You know, he's definitely making a name for himself. And he's got you know, his big bro's probably watching and saying like, hey, I want to outdo you. I want to let you know let me let you know how I do things as a freshman. So it's exciting to see him do this.
You did call it off air, Terry. I will say Terry called that Corbin might have a big night, and he has so far. Monroe takes the snap, tries to go outside. There's a cutback, but no room to run. And the 2-point conversion is not going to be good, but with 6:44 left in this second quarter, it is the Commodores that have taken the lead now 12-7. And really, you look at what is coming up. We're at the halfway point of this second quarter, Terry. The Commodores kicked first. They're going to get the ball to start the second half. If you're Coco, you got to score. You don't want Eau Gallie to put another touchdown on the board ahead of halftime and say, hey, we're about to kick the ball to him to start the third quarter. That could be some trouble.
Yeah, it's good. You're going to find yourself in serious danger if Eau Gallie is able to get this ball and score after you to go 3 and out. You're going to definitely have to put some points on the board because the fans are out here, the cheerleaders are cheering, the band is rocking.
Yep.
Show them what you made of.
Yep. Packed house here tonight at Tiger Stadium. Fans have showed up on both sides. Eau Gallie will kick it off. And it's going to be returned. And not really much room to run there. A swarm of Commodores tackle. That was number 84. That was Cayman Various on the return. So the Cocos Tiger offense will start back at about the 31, I believe. And while we wait for the Tigers offense to take the field, we'd like to thank some of our sponsors. As always, Eastern Florida State College, which we are right near the Cocoa campus of Eastern Florida State College. Health First, Erdman Automotive, All Points, and of course, Auto Expo 95. So Silberzon will be in the shotgun, and he's going to keep it himself, and he takes a shot right there.
Yeah, his helmet came up.
Yeah, he loses his helmet, so he's going to have to step out for a play.
Yeah, and you remember I mentioned to you that obviously you made a quarterback shift, and your team has been playing fairly decent. You don't want to lose this young man because he also plays wide receiver as well.
He does.
So you're going to have to be very mindful of how you utilize him, because if he goes down, it's going to be a real tough task to beat Eau Gallie.
Well, if he goes down, it looks like they're going to be bringing in Trenton Washington, who is the freshman backup quarterback. Now, Washington, he's got some talent as well, but a freshman to step into a game like this would really change the dynamic of that Cocoa offense. With Silberzon, yes, he is still a young player himself, but he's got some experience, especially that championship experience from a year ago playing under Brady Hart. So that would be a momentous change at quarterback if Washington, which he will step in for a play because of the lost helmet to Silberzon. So the Commodores defense already set and ready, waiting for Cocoa to take the field. And like we mentioned, it's going to be number 16 for the Tigers. That is Trenton Washington, freshman quarterback, will step in for a play.
And they'll probably hand this ball out. They don't want to put too much pressure on him. So
it is going to be a handoff right up the middle. And wow, running back able to drag a group of Commodores. Chappell is able to get about 4. So now,
are you surprised that they went with the freshman versus Champ?
You know, I'm not too sure exactly what the status is of Champ Smith. Maybe they have just gone a different direction, or overall he could be banged up and have some injuries. So Silberzon takes the carry on 3rd down and goes nowhere. So big play by Caden Jacquez. Jacquez has stepped into this Commodores defense and really been an anchor this year. And that's the type of player that you need to come in and step up to, because I'll tell you right now, Larice, as much as he does, Terry, you don't need him to exert all his energy on defense, because when the ball turns over, he's playing offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's, like I say, he's Swiss Army knife. He does it all. But good job on Eau Gallie's defense, man. They are balling tonight.
Eau Gallie's defense made a statement a week ago. Anyone that tuned in, they hosted, the First Academy. The First Academy came into that game ranked 67th in the nation.
Woo!
And you're talking tens of thousands of schools.
Yeah.
That's a top 70 school in the nation. And to hold them to only 2 touchdowns, 12 points on the night, that was a statement. Eau Gallie forced 5 turnovers, just could not get the offense churning enough to win that one.
It looks like it's carrying over from that night to tonight, because they already got 1 turnover. And their defense, I mean, most of the time people would expect Cocoa to have at least 14 or 21 points by now. But Eau Gallie's defense has settled in, and they said, hey, we know we're on your home turf, but we got something for you here.
So with 4:48 left here in the second quarter, Eau Gallie leading 12-7. They're going to take over back on offense. It's going to be an empty backfield, the Reese by himself. It's going to be a swing pass out to Monroe, and a great defensive play there. That's number 7, Raymond McCoy, defensive back for the Cocoa Tigers. Great play there, Terry.
Yeah, the real McCoy. Hey, I tell you what, he was real on that play. The young man knew exactly where it was going at, and he hit the wide receiver like, hey, I'm here too. I'm in your playbook. Throw it at me again, and I'll hit you again.
So a big-time play there will move the Commodores back about 5 yards, and they'll have 2nd and 15 from the 20-yard line. That's not where you want to go if you're Eau Gallie. You don't want to take steps back, because if it gets to 4th down, you're going to need a booming punt from Larice.
Yeah, and the middle is wide open, Zane, like I told you before. If they can just recognize that, Coco's letting that middle just play too loose, so we'll see what they do here.
They are. Larice is going to take the carry, and not much room to run at all. He gets to about the line of scrimmage, and that's going to set up a 3rd and 15. Terry, you're exactly right. If they even hit Corbin Monroe or even Captain Roll on a quick slant in the middle, they could be hitting their head on the goalpost.
Yeah, and Captain Rowe and Corbin, we got 3 more years of these young men, man.
Yep.
Seeing them play, what an exciting time to be in Brevard County and playing football. I know last year Cocoa won the state championship, and they went back to back to back. But just to see other teams competing and to see other teams holding Cocoa to 7 points, and I tell you, Eau Gallie is definitely, they came here to play tonight, and they have a crowd over on the other side too. I know Cocoa is packed, but they have a crowd. They have their fans showed up, and they're right across and looking at them and say, hey, we know your team is the state champions, but we're good over here as well.
So we're at the 3:47 mark here in the second quarter. A 3rd and 15 for this Commodores offense. And right here, I think you got to play it safe. I know you want to throw it downfield and try to get a first down here, but you don't want to turn the ball over or make a mistake and give this Tigers offense amazing field position.
You got one-on-one coverage, but, yeah, I think they're going to go ahead and run it.
Yep, Larice will run it up the middle, and he's not going to have much room. So he gets back to the original line of scrimmage, and the Tigers are going to take a timeout. They're going to try to save some time to be able to put some points on the board before halftime. That's a big stop there by Cocoa.
Yeah, I didn't like that entire offensive series there, man. Zane, you definitely want to try to, when you got a team down, you gotta really try to take them down, especially when they're at home.
Yep.
And for them to be kind of conservative on those play calls, it's kind of disheartening to see. And you don't really want your quarterback / running back / Swiss Army knife to take those hits, because he's taking a couple of hits on that drive. And if you're going to do that, you got to be very mindful, because you've already lost your starting quarterback. Like we talked about it before with Cocoa, and you got to be mindful of the injuries with them. But with Eau Gallie, if you lose Xavier Larice, it's pretty tough.
And that punt goes straight up and will go out of bounds really at about the 45-yard line.
The fatigue is kicking in, Zane. As I mentioned before, this young man's taking hits. He's taking hit after hit after hit, and then you expect him to go out there and kick the ball as well.
Yeah, so that's going to set up amazing field position for the Tigers as they'll take over on the Eau Gallie side of the 50 at about the 47-yard line.
Once again, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. It's a great night for football. The score is 12-7. Eau Gallie's up with 3 minutes and 32 seconds left in the second quarter. But tonight's beautiful. No rain, no clouds really in the sky, no humidity. I'll take this any day.
We talked about it, Terry. I was juiced up for this game. And there's a mega trick play right there as Tank White takes the reverse. And he'll get about 6-7 yards, and that was a whoop-de-doop-de-doo. It only worked for about 6 or 7, and you got to be careful. Larice was right there trying to rip that ball out. Ball security going to be huge.
Yeah, that was a long developing play. Like initially, it fooled the defense, but then when he pitched it again, that play developed so long. If he would have threw the ball down the field, I think he would have had a better option to score a touchdown.
So 2nd and 4. Silberzon going to take the direct snap, and he's got some room on that left side. And he runs and scampers for about 9 yards. That's going to be a first down. And that was a smart run right there by Silberzon. You see him take his time. He's patient with it, saw where to run, got that gap, and took it. So good run right there by Silberzon. And now with 2 minutes and 44 seconds left in this second quarter, Coco's threatening at the Eau Gallie 29.
Yeah, and if you're Cocoa, you got to be smiling. You got to be grinning from ear to ear, because it's like, look, I got this field position right now after how we played.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Handoff right up the middle to Chappell. It goes nowhere. Ball's on the ground. So Cocoa did recover it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of extracurricular activities out here with the wide receivers and defensive back. Those young men have been pushing and shoving each other.
Yep.
So this means a lot. But it goes to show you how important this game is. Everyone's tired of losing to Cocoa.
Yep.
So they're standing up to the bully, so to speak, right?
Well, Gallie says, hey, we went 12-2 last year. we're one of the best teams in the county as well, and we're here to play. Silverzon going to go for the end zone, and that one nearly intercepted. Good coverage right there on the outside. That was number 4, Gabriel Player. Check that. That was Corbin. That was Xavier Corbin out there at cornerback with the deflection. He nearly intercepted that one, Terry.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't. He has good hands, you know. So, I mean, what else is he going to do tonight? He's got 2 touchdowns. He's playing defense. If he can go out and get an interception, man, he's got to be player of the game.
Silverzon threw it for O'Keefe's Battle a little bit ahead of him. So that's going to make it 4th down. It's going to be 4th down and 11 for the Tigers. It looks like they're going to leave the offense on the field. And they're probably a little bit out of field goal range, I would say.
Yeah, and you know what? There's a flag on the field, but I wouldn't have gone for this. I mean, because you still got 1 minute and 55 seconds left on the clock. Eau Gallie's like, yeah, go for it. We'll take it. Go ahead and go for it. But there's a flag on the field, so this might change everything.
Yeah, it looks like the referees are having a discussion with Brian Schneider.
Sideline.
Yeah, it's going to be a sideline warning on Coco. And I can tell you right now, that's probably Coach Schneider saying, line up, get lined up, you know. So, sideline warning, not going to create a loss.
The next one is going to cost him, though.
Yep, it will. So, it will be the Tigers lining up on 4th and 11 to go for it. Do you think they try to bait him and jump him off sides right here and then try to go for it?
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you got to do whatever you can to get extra yards. So,
yep.
Eau Gallie's looking like they're ready to just go and attack everything. So this would be a good time to try to throw them off sides. But it's you're on your side of the field. I understand that, but it's 4th and 11. I can see if it was 4th.
And they did exactly that. And I can tell you right now, Terry, Eau Gallie's not going to be happy about that, because now that makes it 4th and 6. And Tigers can really they could do run or pass right here. We've seen Silverzon keep it and really have some good gains. So it'll be interesting, run or pass right here.
Yeah, they got to pass this though. Look, well, they don't have to do anything. That's 2 offsides penalties. So that's 10 yards right there. Now it's 4th and 1.
Wow. So 2 offside penalties in a row by Eau Gallie gives Coco a 4th and 1. And if you're Eau Gallie, you should have been expecting that one from the jump, Terry. So
now you can run the ball, Zane.
Yep. It's 4th and 1 for the Tigers.
It looks like Eau Gallie is going to call the timeout here. They have to settle down, man.
They do.
It was 4th and 11, and now it's, 4th and 1?
Yep.
And Coco didn't have to do a thing but say hike, draw him off side. Defensive coordinators here, Eau Gallie, is highly upset right now.
Yep.
And they have every right to be, because you as a defensive player and as a defensive team, you did an absolute wonderful job holding Coco to 7 points. But for having it 4th and 11, and then now it's 4th and 1, discipline.
And you got to think about it, Terry, on a 4th down play, and especially a 4th down and 11.
Yeah.
Why are you listening for the quarterback's clap? Just watch the ball. Look at the ball, see when the ball is snapped. You're listening for the quarterback's clap, and you're listening to his cadence instead of just watching the ball. So that's what creates the offside. So credit to Troy Silverzon for his quarterback cadence as he gets Eau Gallie to jump off not once but twice. So with 1:55 left, it is 4th and 1, and Coco will stay on the field, of course. Some motion, trying to read the defensive pressure.
I think the quarterback's going to keep this.
It's going to either be a quarterback keep or a run right up the middle, and now we're going to have a Coco timeout.
Yeah, they're trying to bait. They're trying to bait Eau Gallie. It's a good, because you know what? If there would have been another offsides penalty, I think the Eau Gallie head coach would have probably just ran on the field and just tackled everybody on Eau Gallie if that would have happened. But shout out to Coco, because they were really trying to bait to get the extra yards, because if they could have got 15 yards off doing nothing, that would have been wonderful for them. But you know, it's fourth and 1, and it's a tough one. You know, so they're gonna. It's not a you know, something that you can just put in the bag and say, yeah, it's 4th and 1, we got it. They're gonna have to really produce because Eau Gallie's gonna try to bring it. They're upset.
Yeah, and this is a really crucial play in the game because really Cocoa gets the first down here. They're in prime position in the red zone to score a touchdown and go up in this game. And then conversely, Eau Gallie gets the stop. They can say, hey, we still have enough time to get down the field, and we're going to get the ball to start the second half. So momentum, no matter what jersey it's wearing, you can tell what side it's on.
Yes, indeed.
Cocoa looking at the sideline. Schneider giving them the call. It's going to be a pass, and it's going to be incomplete, and they're not going to throw a penalty for that one. Cocoa is not going to be happy.
I am totally shocked that they threw that ball, Zane.
I am too. And you got to look at where you're at on the field as well. You got Troy Silbers on. I mean, we saw him down on the field. The kid's every bit of 6'4".
Yeah, he's huge.
You push him in the butt and you let him lean and get the first down if you're Cocoa, but no, they decided to throw it. And I'll tell you right now, it did look like there was some contact and that could have been called, but it also looked like a short arm pass by Silberzon. He didn't flushly throw that ball. He short armed it, and it was a little bit past O'Keefe's battle, and that was incomplete. So Eau Gallie will take over with 1:51 left here in the half. It's going to be a run up the middle for Larice, and that's going to go nowhere.
I think Eau Gallie is baiting Cocoa because it looks like they're complacent with just running the ball, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a nice pass here to throw them off.
Well, if you look at Eau Gallie's weapons, they have multiple guys that can run it. They have multiple guys that can catch it. So it wouldn't shock me if they wait till Cocoa loads that box up and then they throw it. So it'll be very, very interesting to see what they do. It's going to be Corbin. He's going to try the outside. Excuse me, check it. That is TJ Monroe. He's going to pick up about 3 yards. So we're at 3rd and 5, a minute ticking on the clock. If you're Eau Gallie here, you take every bit of that play clock and really try to make it to 20, 25 seconds because you're not scoring from where you're at.
Well, I mean, you can, but I believe Eau Gallie's complacent with what the score looks like, and they'll probably – I would throw the ball, but they don't want to stop the clock and help Cocoa out. So I think they're going to be fine with just running it because the clock is ticking. We got less than 30 seconds left now. So
yep. It's going to be Corbin. He's got the outside, and he's got the first down and a little bit more. He steps out of bounds. So that'll stop the clock at 22 seconds. They're at the 35-yard line. Now, Terry, do you air it out?
Well, you only live once. You have 22 seconds. You got to give your wide receivers some run. So you can always get an offensive pass, a defensive pass interference or anything, but you can't be happy with just 12-7.
Yep.
You're going to have to put more points on the board, so throw it. And if you don't, but I think they're going to be complacent with running the ball.
So 22 seconds left here in the half. Eau Gallie leading 12-7. Larice has room on the outside, and he makes one guy miss, two guys miss, and he's got room. He steps out of bounds, but it's coming back, Terry. That was a hold once again. And you could hear the Cocoa sideline say, hold, hold, hold. So that one's going to come back. And once again, it's the run outside. The offensive line can only block straight for so long. The defensive line is going to be in pursuit of the ball carrier. So Eau Gallie's offensive line is going to have to realize you got to let your hands go once the defensive line's in pursuit. You can't block straight forever.
Yeah. What a bad offensive series. But now I know they're going to run the ball now because there's no use to trying to do anything spectacular. You'll have 11 seconds left, and you're up.
Yep.
I could see if you were down and you try to make a play, but you're up. So they'll run this ball and be perfectly happy and go into halftime with the 12-7 lead.
Well, once again, that's another big carry by Larice that's pulled back by a holding call. So critical plays that were called back. Monroe has room, and he's going to get about 15 yards, but that's going to lead us to halftime. So here from Tiger Stadium, home of the Cocoa Tigers, it is the Eau Gallie Commodores 12 and the Cocoa Tigers 7. Terry, your thoughts about the first half real quick. We saw touchdowns really on Eau Gallie's first drive, and it was the Cocoa Tigers' second drive that they scored. Quick touchdowns, but then we saw the defenses settle in, specifically Eau Gallie's defense settle in, forcing an interception and forcing a couple of 3-and-outs.
Yeah, I think both teams were still trying to feel each other out. You know, it's not a blowout, it's not a runaway. So any team can win this game tonight, but you saw a lot of penalties, Zane, and I know the coaches are not happy with those penalties. You're gonna have to clean that up in order for you to win, but they're pretty much neck and neck. I know Eau Gallie's got the 12-7 lead right now, but if you're Eau Gallie, you're happy you're leading, but you're not happy by the points. You had an opportunity to be up 14-7, vice 12-7, and that may come back to haunt you. And if you're Cocoa, you got to be disappointed because you're not moving the ball as much as you can. You miss opportunities. There was a 4th and 1, and you throw the ball, and then you try to leave it in the hands of the referee to call a penalty, and you get upset when they don't call it. Run the ball. You have runners on your team. You have to take advantage of that.
Yeah, story of the first half being Eau Gallie's penalties. Obviously a penalty on the 2-point conversion makes it no good, and then a penalty on really which was about a 25-yard run on 4th down that would have set Eau Gallie up at about the 3-yard line. Could have potentially set another scoring touchdown for Larice or Corbin. And then just now we saw about a 25, 30-yard gain once again by Larice, brought back by a holding call. So penalties the story for Eau Gallie, and missed opportunities the story for Cocoa. So both sides really wishing that they could have capitalized and executed a little bit better than they have. But both sides can't be too upset with how the game has gone so far. Eau Gallie's going to be happy. They're leading 12-7 at half. Cocoa, they're going to say, wow, we've dodged some bullets and we're only down by 5. One touchdown will give us the lead in this game. So before we send you guys off to this halftime performance by the Cocoa Tigers, we want to say thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia here from Tiger Stadium. Cocoa down 7-12 by the Eau Gallie Commodores. So now we will send you off as the Cocoa band and dance team is on the field.
Let's hear it for our Cocoa High Band, the best band in the land.
Got to give it up there for the Cocoa Band and dancers. Great performance by them. Eau Gallie's offense able to muster up 2 touchdowns via Xavier Corbin. And Cocoa has a touchdown that was via C.J. Hester. C.J. Hester being the 4-star defensive back headed to the University of Florida next year. Xavier Corbin, just a freshman. So miraculous play by him in this first half. And both sides are really looking at this game saying, hey, it's still our game. So 1 touchdown gives Cocoa the lead. Eau Gallie clinching a 5-point lead right now, as the second half will be underway in about 9 minutes. But both sides wanting to get the offensive firepower going a little bit more. Obviously, Larice, Corbin, Monroe, Richardson, those are going to be the featured guys for the Commodores. For Cocoa, they want to get the ball in Tank White's hand. He's dynamic in the open field. Same thing with O'Keefe's battle. And even Chapel is dynamic in the open field. So, interesting play there in the first half by Cocoa, as you saw them run the ball a little bit more. And were only able to really connect on 1 pass, 2 passes that gained some 10, 15 yards downfield. So it'll be quite interesting to see what Troy Silberzahn and the offense will do in the second half as they try to really muster up some points by trying to run the ball and open the pass up. So that's what they did in the first half. Ran the ball. You saw the run work decently with Zaylen Chapel, who's an all-around guy. He's a listed wide receiver, but he'll run the ball. He will do a little bit of everything for this Tigers offense. This second half is going to be a story of what offense gets going first. I think the defensive battle is steady where it's at. Eau Gallie, their offense is going to be centered around the run. I think we saw 2, maybe 3 pass attempts that whole entire first half, and the run game, to their credit, had success. Larice was able to pick up some gain. TJ Monroe, we saw him run the ball well. Corbin ran the ball well. And Donovan Richardson, he runs the ball very hard himself. So both sides looking at who's going to be the person to step up and get us some momentum, as this game is going to creep into the fourth quarter quick. This is going to be a fourth quarter ball game. And it's going to come down to who can get the stop when it matters most. Eau Gallie has an interception. They have not turned the ball over themselves. So big things coming up. And we will see who answers the call. Both sides wanting to win this to move to 3-2. And the other team will move to 2-3. So give it, I would say we have 6.5 minutes now until the start of the third quarter. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia, and we will be right back. Before we head back to the start of the second half, a couple score updates around the county. If you aren't tuned into this one, you're probably tuned into Merritt Island and St. Cloud and or Holy Trinity and Astronaut. Holy Trinity up 28-0
Wow.
on Astronaut. That's a statement right there because we mentioned it. Astronaut, they're still on the rise. They're not there and they're not cemented in the county as one of the best yet, but they're a team on the rise, and we looked at their depth and said, hey, that could give Holy Trinity some trouble. You got to imagine that dynamic duo of Rico Betrigo and Jaden McMillan at wide receiver is probably causing Astronaut some trouble.
Yeah, it definitely has. But, you know, like you mentioned before, Astronaut is on the rise, and they have a pretty decent record, you know. And they said they wanted the love. I told you I spoke to some of their officials, and they said they wanted the love from the state. They wanted people to come out and see how they're playing. Unfortunately, they're losing right now, but there's a lot of football left.
Yep. St. Cloud right now leading Merritt Island 14-10. That's going to be one that's going to probably come down to the last couple minutes of the game as well. St. Cloud has a really talented team. Merritt Island does too. Merritt Island, if you look at Merritt Island's schedule and their results, only 14 points separates them from being undefeated and being 2-2. They lost to this Cocoa team 30-24 week 1 in double overtime, and then they lost in week 3 to DeLand 57-51 in an absolute barn-burning shootout on the road at DeLand. That's a tough one to drop, but you look at that Merritt Island team, you say, hey, a year ago they went 7-4 and lost 4 games by a combined 20 points. Through the first 4 weeks, that's kind of reminiscent of what happened a year ago, Terry. And if you're Merritt Island, you're going to say, hey, we got to win these close ones, because if we want to make it further in the playoffs than we did a year ago, then these close ones, they got to go in our favor. And that comes down to execution.
Yeah, it definitely comes down to execution. And I like that even though they lost these games, they weren't no blowouts.
Nope.
And that's actually a good thing. So I know we talked about moral victories before, but for them to be in every game despite losing, that's still encouraging.
So Cocoa and Eau Gallie huddling up, getting ready to kick off the second half. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. If you did miss the first half and you are just tuning in, a little recap. It was Cocoa that started with the ball. 3 and out. Eau Gallie took over, and it was Mr. Freshman Xavier Corbin that took it in on about a 15-yard scamper. However, Cocoa answered right back in a flash. They were able to travel down the field and through a tunnel screen is what they call it to C.J. Hester. And as Terry's credit, he looked like Devin Hester as he was able to make some guys miss and get into the end zone, making it 7-6. But then on the flip side, it was defense, and both sides were really unable to get traction. But the interception that was really, I would say, a drop more than just a poor throw. It was a drop, and it went into the hands of Daniel Tolliver, for the Eau Gallie Commodores. That set up Eau Gallie in plus field position at about the 25-yard line, and then guess who? It was Corbin again getting into the end zone, and that's how we have our 12-7 score. But, Terry, so far, this is all that you could ask for from the top 2 teams in the county.
Yeah, what a treat. We have a treat tonight in this game, Zane, and I'm just sitting back in awe because there's no blowout. I hate to see teams get blown out, and that is definitely not in tonight's case. But I'm anxious to see how the second half is going to turn out.
So Cocoa set to kick it off now. Eau Gallie will receive.
Once again, thanks everybody for tuning in. Robin Spain, Miss Alberta Wilson, Sherrod Thompson, thank you all for tuning in amongst everyone else. Don't forget to put your score predictions in the chat and shout out and put where you're watching the game from. We had people that watch from Thailand. We had people who watch from neighboring states. So thank you all for watching. But go ahead and put where you're watching it from and what do you think the score is going to be at the end of the night.
So that was Lucas Viselli that took the fair catch on the kickoff. So Eau Gallie will start out at the 35-yard line. Not bad field position to start out. if you are Xavier Larice and company. Coco, their biggest issue, I think, in that first half is they weren't able to contain when these Commodores got outside, and that's one thing that Eau Gallie will probably try to do again. And there it is, Larice on the left side. He's got room to run, and he is down the sideline. That's going to be a 55-yard touchdown, 65-yard touchdown. Xavier Larice, Terry.
Did you see how high I jumped up just now? Because I couldn't believe it. I was sitting down. I wish you all could have saw me. I didn't think – I thought they had him dead to rights. But it goes to show you the will and the skills from this young man. And I'll tell you what, that's the score that you need if you're Eau Gallie to come out at halftime. And you can best believe that the coach told them, like, look, you're a talented young man. Go out there and show the world how talented you are. You are Oregon commit.
Yep. Well, I just mentioned it, Terry. The issue in the first half was Coco's inability to contain when it was Larice or it was Corbin or it was Monroe trying to get outside. That's how they got their big plays. And what did we just see there, Terry? It was Larice on the outside, and he created a big score. So it looks like there's going to be I think there was some extracurricular. There's going to be a penalty. So an unsportsmanlike penalty will move Eau Gallie back. And honestly, if you're Eau Gallie, you're going to say, hey, we'll take the unsportsmanlike. We just let our guy Larice go 65 yards and hit pay dirt.
Yeah, I want to thank Tina Sands for watching from Tennessee, Zane.
All right. Me being a Gators fan, I'm not a fan of Tennessee or Georgia, but I will say Tennessee should have won that game last weekend against Georgia.
I wouldn't have said that too loud that you're a Gator fan, though, Zane.
The extra point is blocked again.
That's the second block. Second block of the night.
And I got to say, that one right there, Terry, we've said that it could be the kicker not getting it high enough. That one was just the blocking.
Yeah.
The Tigers got right over the top.
Yeah, and so the special teams is humming. The rest of the team is going to have to do the same thing. It's going to have to catch up.
So with only 13 seconds off of our third quarter start, 11:47 left in this third quarter, Eau Gallie with Xavier Larice trekking it 65 yards into the end zone, makes the score 18-7. And if you're Coco, you got to answer back right here. You missed opportunities in the first half. You do not want to miss them in the second half. Eau Gallie's defense has been humming. They've looked really good in this game so far, and if you're Coco, you got to find some answers, not just running the ball. You got to throw it. You got to mix it around. So big-time play there by Larice, and the Tigers will take over. And there's a muff on the return, but now there's some room to run, and there's a pretty good return there.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get stopped back further back than where he was at, but where there's a will, there's a way, Zane.
Yep. That was number 8, Duran Guilford, on the return. And Guilford, he's got some wheels. You could see he took that ball and he found some wiggle room and was loose for a second there. So great field position for the Tigers to start out. They're going to take over at about the 40-yard line.
A lot of people have been putting their score predictions in here, too. So you got Robin Spain said Coco 20, Eau Gallie 26. Miss Alberta Wilson said that she's going with Coco. Tiana Culley said go Dogs. I guess she's a Bulldog fan. Sorry about that, Zane.
Silverzon rolls out. He's going to run it, and he's going to get swarmed by some Commodores on about a gain of 3. And, you know, I'm not even going to talk about the Gators right now, okay? Let's just leave the Gators out of it.
Thank you.
Because I don't want to even know what's going to happen tomorrow night. I'm just going to focus on Eau Gallie and Coco right in front of us.
Well, they say we're supposed to have a hurricane tomorrow.
I don't know. I think it might just be a tropical storm, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow night in South Florida. Snap goes to Chappell. Chappell has some room on the right side. Breaks a tackle, scoots up, and that's going to be a first down. Wow, he broke not one, not two, 3 tackles there, Terry. And that's the type of effort you need if you're Coco if you want to get back in this game.
Yeah, and you know what? They need to continue to run him as well because he's getting those yards after contact.
Yep.
And that's what you're looking for as a coach. One tackle is not gonna stop this young man, so they're gonna have to figure it out real soon, or he's gonna be hitting his head on the goalpost all night.
Yep. So 10.5 left here in quarter number 3. Coco on offense. Silverzon rolls out, throws it, and that's a backwards pass. Wow. Wow, I am really, really shocked about that one, Terry. They said an incomplete pass. It looked backwards to me.
Yeah, it definitely looked backwards to me as well, and I think the referees missed a call on that one because that should have been a fumble.
Yeah, a backwards pass could have caused trouble. And a holding play, it's going to back them up anyway. So we're looking at 1st and 20 now for the Tigers. And you got to stay on schedule. So Tigers, they got to make some plays here. LSU did take care of those Gators, Robin. They sure did. And it was all thanks to Mr. Lagway, 5 interceptions. Yeah, the Gators have unfortunately not been too good this season. But forget about the Gators right now. We got a great Friday night football game in front of us.
Yes, we do.
Silverzon is going to throw. And that one, wow. That was an errant throw right there. And you saw freshman Captain Roll over there defending it. He almost one-hand picked that, Terry.
Well, I'll tell you what, Silverzon didn't step into that throw at all. He just kind of lobbed it up there, and he almost threw it to the Admiral. You remember we promoted him from captain to the Admiral because
we did.
He's been balling. So he wants that one back because I'll tell you right now, if he throws another one like that, the Admiral's going to take it all the way down to the end zone.
Roll had an interception last week, and I can tell you right now he's probably itching for another one this week. So got to be careful of throwing his side. Silverzon's going to go deep. And that one is picked off. That is Xavier Larice, the Mr. Do-It-All. And he's unable to get loose. But that's an interception. Silverzon, you got to be a little bit smarter with the decision right there. He threw it into double coverage. He threw it for Tank White. That's who you want to go to.
Right.
But when you see Larice back there and you already see him with a guy draped over him, that's not the best decision.
Yeah, but good job on the wide receiver for hanging on to Larice because Larice was trying to get out of there, and he hung on for dear life because if he didn't, he had a lot of room to run. So, but good job on Larice for intercepting that ball. I tell you, he throws, he catches, he punts. What else does he do?
So I think that what we're seeing right now is a little bit of a shocker to some people, but Eau Gallie, they're trying to end the 28-game in-county streak, and Coco is trying to win their 29th in a row in county. Outside run again, it's Richardson. He's tripped up after about a gain of 3, and I just talked about it, Terry. The outside running is what is working for Eau Gallie. If you're Coco, I don't think you can stack 8, 9 in the box anymore. You got to spread it out.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, though. They're going to have to be real careful because if Eau Gallie scores here, it's going to get real cold in Tiger Stadium.
It is.
Because Eau Gallie smells blood.
They do.
And when they smell blood, they're going to try to attack and attack and attack. But Eau Gallie, Coco's defense has been holding their own for a little bit, so hopefully they can hold their own and bend, don't break.
Well, I can tell you right now, the Tigers usually feed pretty well off of their crowd, and right now they haven't been able to feed off the crowd. Wow, Larice made something out of nothing right there, as he really was about to be stopped for 2, maybe 3 at most, and picks up a first down. So great run there by Xavier Larice, and that's going to be a first down Commodores.
Yeah, what's my word that I always say about when you see a run like that?
Is it the stick-to-itiveness?
Stick to it. See it through the end, and that's what Xavier Larice has displayed right now. is stick-to-itiveness.
See, you gave me a little bit of trivia right there, and 1 week with Orville, I didn't forget. Now, but shout out to Orville. Glad to see him back.
Yeah.
Glad to see Orville back.
Shout out to Steve as well. That's my guy.
Orville and Steve are the legends here for Space Coast Daily. And there's going to be a timeout by Eau Gallie ahead of the snap. So 8.5 left here in the third quarter. Terry, you said it. Eau Gallie scores here. That's going to be danger time for this Tiger team, especially with how this Eau Gallie Commodores defense has settled in really, really well.
Yeah, they definitely have. And they're going to have to be very, very cautious of how they play this defensive series because, like I told you, Eau Gallie smells blood. They want to stick it to Cocoa because Cocoa has – have beaten every team for 27, 28 tries.
Yep.
And so you come on their home field, you win. You're arguably 1 and 2. Some people say 1A, 1B.
Yep.
And so they're trying to be the 1A.
Yep. A week ago, it was Cocoa who beat Heritage 37-0 on their home field, and you said, hey, that might be a game. Cocoa might be working out the kinks and finding their groove. Eau Gallie just came in here and said, hey, we're here to play. We don't care what happened last week. We lost at CFA, but now we're here to play. It's Corbin outside, hurdles a person, still running, and that's going to be a first down. It was marked in the X. X marks the spot. I don't know how to say anything else other than Xavier Larice and Xavier Corbin. That's the offense right now for Commodores.
Yeah, and you know what? I know he's just a freshman, but I absolutely love the way this young man runs, man. Like I said, he got like a Roger Craig in him. That's probably before your time, Zane. but he got that type of run in him, and he runs similar to him. So I'm excited to see him run. It's definitely poetry in motion.
First down from the 41. The handoff up the middle to Richardson. And he picks up about 3. Hard running there. About to be at the 7.5-minute point here in the third quarter. Eau Gallie trying to trek down the field and score their second touchdown of this third quarter. The first came in the first 13 seconds of this second half. It was Xavier Larice with a direct snap, and he took it 65 yards to the house. Broke some tackles, hurdled a man, and was gone. 2nd and 6 from the 44. In motion and a pitch pass. It does not go the way they expected it to. It is recovered. And I'll tell you right there, Terry, that was a scary play because it looked like a volleyball pass more than a touch pass.
Yeah, that was actually on the quarterback, too. He did not – I know what he was trying to do, but he did not throw the ball off right to the runner. But they're going to have to – like I said, you can't get complacent. You can't watch the scoreboard and say, yeah, we're up 18-7. Because Cocoa is going to try to score on you when they get the ball back. So you're going to have to try to score. You can't get cute.
Nope.
Get what got you down here. Get who got you those 18 points.
Yep.
And that's what they're going to have to do.
So now it's going to be a 3rd and long after the fumble. And it's going to be a keeper. Larice has room on the outside. He wiggles, and there's another fumble. That ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be down at about the 48-yard line, I believe. 49.
Yeah, Zane, and he fumbled. This is his second time fumbling, and he was very fortunate that both of them went out of bounds.
Yep.
But this is when the fatigue kicks in. He's Mr. Do-It-Everything, and because he's Mr. Do-It-Everything, you get fatigue, and sometimes that ball get a little loose in your hand. So if I was a coach, I would have to talk to him and say, hey, settle down a little bit, put 2 hands on the ball, protect the ball,
Yep.
because you've gotten lucky twice. But that third time may not be so lucky. So
No.
And that could be a turn. That could be a turn of the game right there.
It could. So we're going to have an officials timeout right here with 6:13 left in the third quarter. Once again, thank you everyone for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia here from Tiger Stadium, home of the Cocoa Tigers. They are rocking their black jerseys, orange bottoms tonight. Eau Gallie in the all white and navy helmets. Great night for football. You couldn't ask for a more beautiful, nice night for football. We have some wind, so it's not too hot, not too humid. The crowd is packed. But this Tiger team, they feed off their crowd, and their crowd has been quiet. So
absolutely quiet. Like literally, like I thought we were like in mass or something because no one's saying anything right now.
Cocoa looking for a momentum play right here. It's going to be 4th down and 3. Corbin does not get there. So
there's a flag, though, on the field.
The flag, I believe that's going to go on Eau Gallie. I think it was a false start.
That looked like Redman Thompson flying in there, but let's see what the call is. The Tigers defense is coming off the field.
And they do pick up the flag. The flag was I believe, going to be for a false start, but they picked it up. I guess they said, yeah, the timing was fine. Cocoa with a massive stop there on 4th down. I think if you're Eau Gallie, you try to run that one up the middle. Cocoa's got some players on that side.
Oh, yeah.
You try to run up the middle against Cocoa, it doesn't really work that way. So Eau Gallie is going to probably try to go back to their outside running after they see something like that not working too well. But nonetheless, it is the Tigers that take over with 6:01 left here in the third quarter from plus side of the field on the 49. Silverzon rolling out, trying to wiggle, and he does. Makes 1-man, 2-man miss, and he picks up 9. So a 9-yard rush for Silverzon as he gets down to about the 40-yard line. It's going to be a 2nd and 1. Good gain there by Silver.
Yeah, that was definitely a good run, and I think both teams are kind of complacent with just running the ball, and hoping for the best. I don't know how much they want Silverzon to throw because he just threw an interception, but if you don't want to take that away from him, maybe give him some high percentage throw, maybe a slant route or something like that will help him out.
There's another run. Zaylen Chappell up the middle, gets 6.5, 7 yards, and that's going to be a 1st down for the Tigers as they now move inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Cocoa is looking for a touchdown this drive. They don't get a touchdown. We're creeping. It's now 5 minutes left till the 4th quarter. It's going to be anyone's ball game come 4th quarter, but you'd want it to be down by a touchdown, not down by 2.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, Zane.
Silverzon takes it again up the middle. Gets about 4, maybe 5. And as we've discussed, ball security on Eau Gallie's side, that's going to be important for the Tigers too, because I think on this part of the field is where you're going to see Eau Gallie punching at that ball, stripping at that ball as much as they can.
Yeah, because they want the ball back. They realize that they didn't do what they should have done when they had the ball on the last possession. So they're going to try to do everything they can to get the ball back and without Cocoa scoring.
Silverzon loses his helmet. Freshman Trenton Washington steps in for a play. Hands it off up the middle. Timing not too good right there. It looks like the flow and the development of the play there, Terry, it just didn't go well.
Well, this is what happened when you change quarterbacks too, right? You know, that ball came out extremely slow. The quarterback looked like he didn't know who to hand the ball off to as well. So
right.
As you can see, Silverzon ran right back on the field after that play. So these are all valuable learning lessons for the young freshman quarterback as he got to play in the game twice, and hopefully he can learn from this as well.
So that sets up a 3rd and long for Cocoa. 3rd and 9. Silverzon steps back to pass, has a man in the middle, and it is Chappell. And he's going to score. And that was all Chappell right there. Actually, excuse me, that was Battle. That was O'Keefe's Battle on the reception. And that was all battle right there.
I tell you what, Battle looked like he was getting ready to go to battle. You know, he was ready to battle. That was a heck of a run, man. And just like I told you, you didn't want Coco to come back and kind of score if you were Eau Gallie, and this is exactly what happened. So now we talked about we couldn't hear the crowd from Coco. They got shaken up and waking up this now, you know, and so I'm glad to hear the crowd is back into it as well. So what a run, man. What a run.
Coco electing to go for the 2-point conversion here to try to make it a 3-point game. Silverzon rolls out, and it is incomplete. And it looks like Silverzon's down. He's slow to get up on that one. I can tell you right now, the defensive end that went to tackle him, it wasn't an intentional dirty play, but he did tackle him lower.
Yeah, and Zane, he's hurting, man. You know, I know he's trying to trot off the field a little bit, but he's running. And if you're the coach, you got to put him in the tent immediately to see exactly what's going on with this young man, because you can't afford to lose him if you're the Coco Tigers.
Nope.
Italian ice over there on the visitor side. And over here on the home side, we have Fresh Wing along with Matt. Amazing.
So if you're Gallie,
Over here on the home side.
this is where you have to respond, right? You're still up. You're up by 5 points.
Don't forget about our Tiger stand.
You can't
Tiger stand on the visitor side.
hold your head down.
Tiger stand on the home.
Even though you're up by 5, you're going to have to get down here and score if you're going to beat Coco, because if you don't and you go 3 and out here, Coco's going to try to score again
Yep.
and score fast, because that was fairly easy. That's a pretty easy score, so they're going to try to do the exact same thing.
Takes one bounce, taken by Corbin. He gets swung around and unable to get loose. So great coverage there by the Coco Tigers. That was Duran Guilford that came in there and finished it up.
Zane, a sleepy giant has woken up.
Indeed, he has. We said it. This is going to be a 4-quarter game. It doesn't matter if Eau Gallie scores another touchdown right here and gets a pick 6 after that and goes up by 3 touchdowns. Coco is not going to go away. This is a Ryan Schneider coach team. They're not going to lay down.
No, but you can't be vanilla. You can't have a vanilla offense if you're Eau Gallie here. You're going to have to do some trickery. You're going to have to throw the ball. And to be honest with you, the way their defense is set up, they can win the battle on the edge.
So it's Larice going outside and cuts back. It's going to get about 2. It didn't look like that play really set up well. It looked like there was some motion, but unsure of who to hand it off to. Larice kept it himself, and this is when Coco gets momentum.
Yeah.
They get 1 play, 2 plays, 3 plays where they stop you behind the line or they stop you for a 1-yard gain, and they start to build that momentum.
Yeah, and the clock is ticking. You know, we got 2 minutes and 48 seconds left on the scoreboard in the third quarter. Eau Gallie, they can't scoreboard watch. They're going to have to go down here and score some points if they want to stay competitive, even though they're winning by 5.
Yep. So the snap, handoff to Donovan Richardson. He finds a hole, and he's going to run for about 6. And Richardson, it looks like he's going to be down. Twisted his ankle, I believe.
Ouch. That definitely hurt, you know. And you would hate to see any young man on this field get hurt. So I'm hoping that he's able to bounce back. But he's in a lot of pain, Zane.
Yeah, good run there by Richardson. Sets his offense up about 3rd and 2, but bigger concern, injured on the end of that run. That's a player that he's run the ball a couple of times tonight, and he's done well. Picked up 6, 7, 8 yards on each run. Donovan Richardson is really their power back, I guess.
Bell cow, huh?
I guess he's their power back, as you would say, but they have multiple guys, and I believe third and short here, Terry. You want to run and get the first down, of course, but I think this is where you bring in your trickery, like you said. You want to sneak maybe one guy. I don't think they have a defined tight end, but you sneak one guy off that line and let him creep behind the defense, throw it over the top. Larice can at least give you a nice 15 to 20-yard pass, and really you have all the green grass in front of you to go.
Yeah, but you don't want to get too cute here either, you know. I think they're going to be complacent with running it.
They will. It's going to be a handoff Corbin, and he has nowhere to go. So they stopped him right at the line of scrimmage, and Eau Gallie's going to have to punt. They don't want to go for it. Analytics might say go for it, but
I don't think the analytics say go for it right here. I think analytics say, please, punt, punt, punt.
high school analytics says whatever down it is, do it. So Eau Gallie is going to set up and punt it away. And Larice is going to have a good punt right here, actually, as that takes an Eau Gallie bounce, and it'll go down at the 30-yard line. So Cocoa will take over on offense with 1:23 left in this third quarter. But this is the time right here for Cocoa. You've already got the momentum on your side now. You go score, and you make Eau Gallie answer. Eau Gallie's been waiting for the answer. Now you make them answer. And right now they have a chance to go down there and score and take the lead if they score a touchdown.
Yeah, and you best believe you could tell by the swag that Cocos have right now. They're looking like we're going to get the ball. We want to go score. We want to show out for our fans out here because this is packed. There's a lot of people out here.
Yep.
And they want to show their appreciation to the fans by scoring another touchdown.
It is Silberzon. The direct snap will go to Chappell. He's got some room. And he is swung down after a gain of 5. So good first down gain there for Zaylen Chappell. And it looks like Chappell's going to be down. He was tackled hard.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling it down there, Zane. And you would hate to see, like I mentioned before, these young men get hurt like that. But unfortunately, that's a part of the game. Injuries is a part of the game for football, you know. So, but hopefully he's be able to get up and get back in this game.
Yeah, hard tackle there on Zaylen Chappell. But as we have a pause in the action once again, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors. First off, because we're right next to it, Eastern Florida State College, Health First, All Points, Erdman Automotive, and of course, Auto Expo 95. Thank you all for sponsoring. But with 1:10 left in this ball game, Eau Gallie looking for a big stop here. Cocoa looking for a bigger touchdown here. And it'll be interesting, Terry. This game's creeping into the fourth quarter. It's about who scores last. And Troy Silberzon has room to run. But it looks like we're going to have a hold, Terry.
Yeah, I was wondering when the referees was going to throw another flag, you know. But you hate to see that because there was a good run by your quarterback.
It was. We have another Cocoa guy down. I believe that's Tank White. That's not really a guy you want injured either, other than Zaylen Chappell.
Yeah, he's holding that ankle and he's rocking back and forth. Ouch, that didn't look good at all.
Nope. So the 2nd and 5 first down will be coming back. It'll make it 2nd and 15 after the holding penalty.
That's going to make it 2nd and 14 here as we are under the minute mark in the third quarter.
Tank White able to make it off the field, but he's limping, so it's probably very, very unlikely that he'll be back in this ball game. And that's one of your weapons. We've seen him touch the ball multiple times in this game. You're going to have some other players step in his position, but they're going to have to make plays just like he has been able to. So that'll be interesting. Silverzon took the snap, and we're going to have a false start, so move it back again. That's going to make it 2nd and 20 now for the Tigers. And if you're Coach Schneider, you got to say, hey, what's going on? We just had a first down on a 2nd and 5 run by our quarterback, and now it's 2nd and 20.
Yeah, you can tell Coach Snyder is definitely not happy right now.
Silverzon steps back, throws it outside. It's caught, and it is O'Keefe's battle with a gain of about 12. That'll make it a more reasonable 3rd down. It'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Tigers. And yes, that will take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. It is Eau Gallie 18, Cocoa 13. Both sides able to score a touchdown in that 3rd quarter.
4th quarter, Zane. This is moments where heroes step out of the huddle and not out of comic books, brother.
This is a big, big quarter for both sides. Now you can hear the crowd. They're chanting their 4th quarter Tiger quarter. But right now they're down, and they need their side to get amped up. So this is a big drive right here. This is a big down, Terry. 3rd and 8. I want to say you put it in the air and you throw it to O'Keefe's battle because that's been your bread and butter tonight. But at the same time, you don't want to target the same guy over and over and over because the defense is starting to key in on that. I think you got to go with what Coach Schneider draws up here, which will probably be, if I had to call it and predict this play right here, is going to be a 9-yard dig by Battle. He's going to get right to the sticks, turn around, the ball is going to be right on his chest, and it's going to be a 1st down if I had to predict it.
That's a good prediction. I don't want to see a long play, a long developing play. I don't want to see that right now. I actually believe that the quarterbacks are going to keep this ball and run.
All right. Well, 3rd and 8.
He does have a favorable matchup, though, in the slots if he's told to go.
Yep, it is. Battle's in the slot right here. He's got Tollivert on him. Tollivert does have the interception tonight. And they go Battle, but it is dropped. And I'm not gonna say that should have really been caught because it was a poor throw.
Yeah, that ball was not going to be caught, and because it was already hitting the ground for the most part. So if you're the quarterback, you're going to have to throw it where it hits the receiver in stride so that he can take it and get some more yards. That was a horrible thrown ball.
He throws it in stride. That's a 1st down, Terry.
And probably more.
Yep. So it wasn't the dig that I predicted. It was actually an out route, but they did go for their guy Battle, and that punt is going to be favoring Eau Gallie.
Yeah, that was definitely not a good punt. And if you're Eau Gallie, you're sitting back like, yeah, we'll take everything you're giving us because we're up 18-13. But they can't get complacent because Coco's defense have been playing pretty good as well.
They have. Coco has started to really keen in on that the run game of Eau Gallie.
I tell you what, it is rocking in Tiger Stadium right now, Zane. These cheerleaders have gotten this crowd stomping and cheering. I wish you all could see it because it's definitely a beautiful sight to see how much Coco has that pride for their team. And Eau Gallie's on the other side, and they are packed over there as well.
So Eau Gallie takes over at the 45-yard line. Handoff right up the middle goes to Corbin. It's about 5 yards.
Corbin has a little bounce in his step right now. I think he wants the ball every time because he wants another touchdown. He wants once, twice, 3 times the lady. You probably don't know that song, but it came to my head. But Lionel Richie, I think,
Corbin takes the ball, and you see him just make an immediate cut, and it's like in a snap of a finger, in a blink of an eye, he's 4 or 5 yards down the field.
Yes.
So handoff goes to Corbin once again, and there it is. Room to run. It's going to be a first down. Eau Gallie.
I think Eau Gallie is complacent with that, and you should be. If you're getting 8, 7, 8, 9 yards a carry, keep doing it until they stop you. $10 minutes and 49 seconds left in the fourth quarter. This is it. We asked for a good game, Zane, and this is exactly what we're getting.
It's a 4-quarter ball game. Still a lot of time left in this ball game, though. Anything can happen. It's still either team's game. Cocoa only down 5, so a touchdown would give them the lead. Larice goes right side. Stiff arms, jumps for about 5 yards. I believe we're going to have another holding. I got to say, Terry, this front line of the Cocoa Tigers, I think they're just creating the holding calls at this point.
Yeah, they're making it real difficult for those offensive linemen because they're doing everything they can to get to the quarterback, and it looks like they're getting manhandled up front. If you're Eau Gallie, you're getting manhandled. Eau Gallie, Cocoa is saying, yeah, we're going to do everything we can to make you suffer on this drive because we're trying to win this game at home at Tiger Stadium.
Man, shout out to Samarion tuning in, saying hearing Zane commentary is comedy. Man, this is what I was born to do. You know I was born to do this, so you're going to be hearing me for a lot of years to come. Handoff goes middle. It's Donovan Richardson. He breaks a tackle, but that's a shoestring tackle right there. That was number 22 for Cocoa, Notarius Atkins. If he doesn't grab that shoestring, Richardson's gone.
Yeah, they better shake Notarius' hand because he definitely saved a game-time scoring touchdown on that drive. There was nobody catching him.
There wasn't. He was off to the races. Good run there by Richardson on first down. Sets up a 2nd and 5, so about a 15-yard gain there for Richardson. It's a keeper by Larice, and that looks like a face mask. But the referees do not call it.
Yeah, and if you're Larice, you got to be careful because I know he's trying to push the defender off of him, but he's leaving the ball exposed.
He is.
And all you need is somebody to punch that out because he's fumbled twice already, so he's got to be very mindful of that.
Yep. It's going to be 3rd and about 8. Third and 8 for the Commodores. 8:30 left in this ball game. Big third down for Eau Gallie. Larice rolls out. He's got a man. It's nearly intercepted.
Yeah, he took a hit too. The quarterback took a hit.
The throw was intended for TJ Monroe. A low pass, nearly intercepted. So that's going to bring up 4th down, and Eau Gallie will have to punt this away.
Yeah, and this is what I was telling you about with that defense that Cocoa has. They've done a pretty good job with the defense, except some couple plays that got away from them. But if you're Cocoa, you got to be excited right now because you're going to get the ball with a lot of time left to score.
The boot goes up, and they're going to – wow, that's actually the best – wow. Wow. I am shocked right there. If this goes to Eau Gallie.
Well, it won't go to Eau Gallie because that ball hit the player on Eau Gallie's top of his head. So when it hits the player, it's already dead right there. You can see the referee already standing right there where the ball hit the player on the top of the head.
So, yes, it will be Cocoa taking over at the 10-yard line. That was the best punt by Larice tonight. 8:07 left in this one. Plenty of time left for the Cocoa offense to get down and score a touchdown.
Yeah, there's a lot of time, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Cocoa. They're going to do a mixture of running and playing, but right here, this is danger territory, so you don't want to get too cute and have a fumble on this play as well.
Man in motion is Chappell. Throw over the middle is caught.
Safe throw, high percentage throw, and now you're getting your quarterback into a rhythm. Keep it going, keep it going.
That is Cayman Varys on the reception. Coco's left the middle exposed. Eau Gallie has not taken advantage of it. Eau Gallie's left the middle exposed, and Cocoa taking advantage.
You see they tighten up, now they put that middle linebacker in there now to protect the middle. But your edge, you got one-on-one coverage out here if you want it.
It's going to be a 50-50 ball, and that is intercepted. That is number 13. That is Kiani Guardo. Interception by Eau Gallie. Honestly, right there, Terry, that's another one by Troy. You don't need to make a big play right now. You just go step by step.
I see what the quarterback was trying to do, and he had a receiver there.
He did.
But he did not throw the ball the way he was supposed to, and Eau Gallie made him pay for it. I tell you, the defensive coordinators are jumping up and down right now after that interception because you have to throw the ball where your wide receiver is the only person that can get it. And the quarterback did not do that, and this was a direct reflection of what happened, and that was an interception.
Well, I can tell you right now, Eau Gallie is probably feeling like, hey, we need a score and a touchdown now.
Well, they're in definitely a good field position to do that.
Eau Gallie takes over at the 43-yard line on the plus side of the field after the interception. Handoff goes up the middle. It's Richardson again, hard-nosed running. He's going to get about 6, maybe 7. If you're Eau Gallie, you're kind of content with keeping it on the ground, but at the same time, you got to get in the end zone. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. On this drive, you have to get in the end zone because let's be honest, there's no field goal attempt. There's not going to be a field goal attempt coming. So it's make it or break it time for Eau Gallie. You got to get into the end zone. Or really, I mean, Cocoa has so many shots and chances to get into the end zone. So the snap and handoff goes to Corbin. Wow. Trucks a man and keeps going.
I tell you,
my
he runs
goodness,
just like Roger Craig.
My goodness.
And he's a freshman, Zane.
Wow.
That's the unique thing about that. That this young man is a freshman.
I just looked down, Terry, and I just saw some of the Cocoa fans shaking their head because they're like, wow.
Yes.
That is a freshman running the ball.
Yeah, and it looks like they have an injury on the field too. One of Eau Gallie's linemen got an injury, and you definitely don't want that because you've been getting bullied for the most part up front.
Yep.
So for now you have to sub one of your linemen out. That can definitely be an issue.
Well, at the 6:34 mark of the fourth quarter, we're going to have a officials water break. Both sides taking a moment to get some water. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. 6:34 left in this fourth quarter. Eau Gallie 18, Cocoa 13. Eau Gallie is now down to the 22-yard line, trying to put another touchdown on the board. Man in motion is Monroe. Handoff goes to Richardson. He's not able to get much right there. The defense was ready for him.
Yeah, good job on the defense for holding true, but they're going to have to. It's a bend don't break type defense. You're going to have to hold them to 0 points because we already know they're not going to try to kick a field goal.
They're not.
They haven't had any success with extra points or anything, so they're obviously going to go for it here.
Yeah, it is 4-down territory for this Eau Gallie team. it doesn't matter if it's 4th and 10 or 4th and 2. They're going for it on this part of the field at least. So 2nd and 10 after that run didn't get much. Corbin in the backfield with Larice. And it's going to be a keeper. Larice bounces it outside. He has room to run. He cuts back, and Larice, they're going to get him down. No, he's going to get into the end zone. It looked like originally they tried to mark him down at the 1, but he scampers in there for the touchdown.
I tell you what, he had a whole army in front of him, too. He had like the Spanish Armada fleet in front of him. I know they're the Commodores, but he had the entire battle group blocking for him.
Well, that is exactly what the doctor ordered. If you are the Commodores, they score a touchdown, and that makes it 24-13 here with 5:24 left in this ball game. They're going to attempt this extra point.
And I like that because they're up, but they have to get their field goal kicker on track. So you got to build some confidence for him too.
The kick is up, and it is good.
That's the confidence builder right there, Zane, that you needed. Because you're going to need your field goal kicker later on down the road. And for you to give him these opportunities and say, hey, we know you got 2 of your kicks blocked, but we believe in you. And for him to come out here and make that extra point, that does wonders for his confidence.
That is major. So with 5:24 left in the ball game, it is Eau Gallie 25, and it is Cocoa 13. Once again, thank you all for tuning in. This is the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Terry Spain, Zane Garcia from Tiger Stadium. We are in the last moments of this game, 5:24 left, which really, I say the last moments, 5:24 can get dragged on. So
it definitely can, but I'll tell you what, though, if you're Eau Gallie and you just so happen to peek on the Cocoa sideline, you got to be happy to see that a lot of their fans are leaving.
Well, you gotta think at this point in the game, you might feel like you have the game won, but Cocoa will score quick. So the defense still got to be on their toes. And a big-time hit right there.
Wow. What a hit, Zane.
That was
the whole sideline and the crowd for Eau Gallie. They're hyped right now because that was a big-time hit.
That was Guilford that picked it up. Didn't really have much room to run. But it also looked like he slipped a little bit. He slipped as he tried to cut back, and he got popped at the same time. Taking over 1st and 10. Troy is rolling out, and Silberzon takes a shot too. That's going to be an unsportsmanlike or a targeting or helmet to helmet, whatever they call it in high school. That's going to be on Caden Jacquez. You can see he definitely went helmet to helmet on Silberzon right there.
Yeah, and he get to stay in the game too, I believe, because it was a personal foul with that. He still get to stay in the game.
And honestly, you care more about the health of the player and in a hit like that. So good to see that Silberzon was able to get up and get right back in the huddle and be okay. So that's going to be a 15-yard penalty, Terry. That's major.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen where penalties have helped Cocoa out in the past. And so if they continue to get more penalties like this will be great, especially for them.
Clock ticking. We're down to 5 minutes left in this one. Silberzon rolls out. He's going to go middle, and it is intercepted. That is Xavier Larice. The 4-star Oregon commit just snatched that out of midair.
That interception just bumped him up to 5 stars.
Wow.
If you're Oregon, you better hope this young man stays committed to you all because he can do it all. It's going to be real hard to have him leave out of the state of Florida. I can tell you that right now, Zane.
Wow, what a grab there by Larice.
Unbelievable. That's probably, I know we've seen some catches, but that was probably the best catch of the night from a defensive player and an offensive player. It doesn't matter who caught the ball. That was the best catch of the night.
Wow. You tally it now, I believe that is the 4th interception for Silberzon. We've seen 2 interceptions. We have 2 interceptions by Larice on the night.
Yeah, I know I talked about the Cocoa fans was leaving after the first play, but now they're definitely getting out of here. Now, it's probably going to be just you and I in here broadcasting. No one else is going to be on the sideline. I'll tell you what, though, Zane, if you're Eau Gallie, all year they've heard about the consecutive run that Cocoa has had on Brevard County teams. They had to hear about it the entire year. And they were sick and tired of it.
Yep.
And now they're displaying all of their frustrations out on the field, and they're up 24-13 with 4 minutes and 52 seconds left in the 4th quarter.
Well, the streak for Cocoa against in-county opponents goes all the way back to 2019 in the Barbecue Bowl, Rockledge beating Cocoa in 2019 24-17. 6 years of beating in-county opponents, tallies 28 straight wins by the Tigers. They're in trouble right now of ending that streak right now. Eau Gallie trying to be the ones to do it. And with 4:52 left, they have a 2-touchdown lead and the ball.
I think Eau Gallie is going to be very complacent with just running the ball here.
They are. It's a handoff right up the middle to Corbin. He's going to pick up about 2. They've inserted Brody Grantland, backup quarterback, into the game.
Absolutely smart idea. That was probably one of the smartest ideas of the night, is putting him in, because now you get to let Xavier Laree rest first, but then also you give this quarterback, this young quarterback, an opportunity to play in a game that is meaningful, and then in the event that you need him later on down the road, he has that game time experience.
So once again, it is Eau Gallie 25, Cocoa 13. We've seen 2 touchdowns by Corbin and 2 touchdowns by Larice. Both players having exceptional games. And Terry, we said it from the jump. They have to stop the X's. You got to stop Corbin and you got to stop Larice. If you don't stop those guys or you don't slow them down, it is going to be a long game.
Yeah, and it has been for Cocoa.
It has.
I think Cocoa's still in shock because, like I told you at the beginning of the game, Cocoa know how to dance, but they don't have their rhythm.
Yep.
And this is what's happening is they're still tapping their toes and trying to get their rhythm. Even though we know they can move, they can shake their hips, they can shake their legs, but they don't have the rhythm yet. And I don't know when the light bulb is going to click on for them, but it's going to have to be real soon, especially if they're going to try to remain state champions.
It is Larice back in there in the backfield. Monroe in motion. Larice is going to keep it. He's got some wiggle room again, and here he goes. And that's going to be a gain of 20. That's a first down for Larice.
Yeah, if I was the coach for Eau Gallie, I would go ahead and take him out. I know he wants to stay in the game. He's probably saying, Coach, no, I don't want to get out. But if you don't take him out at quarterback, put him in another position, but let your backup quarterback get some more experience. That's what I would do. If he wants to stay on the field, let him stay on the field, but put your backup in as the quarterback.
Well, I can tell you right now, after this game, Larice is probably going to have bags of ice on his arms, his ribs, his legs, his feet. They're going to have to be up and down his body because he's given hits, received hits, and really done it all.
Yeah, he's done everything. I seen him punt, kick, interceptions, touchdowns. I think I saw him change the score clock, too. Came up here and changed the scoreboard after they scored. He came up here and put 25 on the board.
Corbin takes the direct snap. Corbin's got the outside, and here he goes.
Yeah, but there's a flag on the field.
Yep, it's going to come back. I believe that we have a hold. Corbin picked up about 25-30, but it's going to come back because of a holding call. And you called it, Terry. This Cocoa sideline is starting to thin out as we creep down to the 3.5-minute mark in this ball game. They sense that this Tiger Tiger streak of in-county wins might be coming to an end.
Yeah, it's not might be, Zane. This game is over because what Eau Gallie is going to do is just continue to run the ball and let the clock tick. So, like it's doing right now.
Eau Gallie will be moving back, 1st and 20. And you look at the time, there's 3.5 minutes. Eau Gallie's going to obviously run the ball and make that time tick even more. But if you're Cocoa, you force a turnover right here, you're still in the ball game. So there's still time left. It's almost over. I would not say it's over just yet. Anything can happen. We've seen crazier things. And Cocoa is going to be ripping at that ball. They weren't able to jar it out right there, but we're going to have a timeout for Cocoa. They're going to have to use their timeouts now because if they get the ball back, you just got to move up and down the field.
Did you see that smoke that was on the far end of that? That's the buses for Eau Gallie cranking up, saying that this game is over right here. So that smoke that you just saw, that was Eau Gallie's bus. They're just waiting for the players to get on.
Well, what a great game that we had tonight. We knew it was going to be a 4-quarter game. We knew it was going to be who scores last, who makes the big stop. And I can tell you right now, this game with the 4 turnovers has been Eau Gallie's game. And the Eau Gallie side, they're probably saying, what if we had Joseph Allen? What if we were actually able to throw the ball? What would it look like then? And, you know, we won't know this year. Joseph Allen will be back next year for his senior year. But you got to say, if you're Eau Gallie, we played about as best as we can play without our star quarterback. Joseph Allen, consensus 3-star quarterback, holds many D1 offers. And I'll tell you right now, we saw him week 1 and just a short glimpse of him in week 1. And he can throw it.
Yeah, he definitely can.
So carry by Larice goes for about 6. We're going to have another timeout by Cocoa. They are going to use their timeouts now and slow this clock down. They get a stop right here. We're at 3rd and 13, so they get the stop right here. They will be getting the ball back, but they're going to have to score ASAP. They're going to have to score as soon as they can in this one. But stay tuned in to Space Coast Daily for post-game coverage. We're going to have a post-game interview with the winning coach, and our Friday night locker room player of the game will be announced shortly after this one. Before we go ahead and announce our player of the game at the end of this one, we would like to hear it from you guys. Tell us, who is your player of the game? If it is Eau Gallie, is it Corbin? Is it Larice? Who's your player of the game if Cocoa wins it? Who is your player of the game? Is it O'Keefe's Battle? Is it CJ Hester? Who is it? Obviously, Troy Silberzahn didn't have the best performance tonight that he would have liked. He's throwing multiple interceptions, and you can't blame it all on him. You got to say, give some credit to this Eau Gallie defense. They've been shackles on these wide receivers for Cocoa. So Eau Gallie trying to just run the timeout here. They got 3rd and about 13. Corbin is going backwards. He's changing direction.
Oh, man.
Somehow he just got out of that. I really do not know. It's going to come back once again for a hold.
Yeah, and I think if Eau Gallie wins this game, which it looks like it is, we may have to have both the X's as the players of the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if that ever happened, but that you got my vote for both of them.
Corbin and Larice have looked phenomenal tonight. I got a poll for Larice just for the simple fact of what he's been able to do on both sides of the ball. It's been insane. Fourth down for Eau Gallie. They'll be punting away. 2:40 left in this one. They're going to let that time tick. So Coco probably will not be getting this ball until we're looking at maybe just at 2 minutes left in the game. Punt by Larice is not terrible, but it's going to be returned. That's actually a heads-up play there by Battle, as he was able to carry it to about the 45, I believe. 45, maybe midfield. It's going to be the 47-yard line. The Tigers will take over. 2 minutes and 11 seconds left in this game. They're out of timeouts, so they're going to have to run a quick 2-minute drill. And really, you don't have enough time for a 2-minute drill. You got to score now. So they need maybe 1-2 play touchdown right here, and then it's straight into an onside kick. It's going to be a flag on the play. It looks like we're going to have an offsides on Eau Gallie. That'll move the move the Tigers up 5 yards, move the Commodores back 5 yards. That'll move the Tigers into plus territory at the 49. Silverzon takes the snap, throws it sideline. And that's a big-time play there by Gabe Player. He sat on that.
Yeah, but he actually let up too, because he could have took that wide receiver out completely, but he spared him. Trust me, he did.
He spared him, and honestly, he spared Silverzon, because if he broke on that, he was gone. That was a pick six.
Good night, Irene.
Yeah, that was a pick six waiting to happen. Player let up a little bit and just made the tackle. Time ticking down now, under a minute 30. Silverzon rolls out, has Chappell. Chappell tackled inbound, so the clock will continue rolling.
There's got to be a sense of urgency here too, Zane. You should be moving a little bit faster than that. Even though you know the game is a little out of reach, I think it's probably over. Well, I know it's over now, but we got 1 minute and 14 seconds left. But you still want to see them move with a faster pace.
Yeah, this one now with a minute left in the game is over. Silverzon is going to run and pick up the first down, but he's going to be down at the 39. Clock will stop for a second while they reset the chains. 59 seconds left in this one.
We are under the minute mark here.
Martell says space is canceled, dog. Everybody kind of expected Coco to win this one. They just expected the streak to continue. Coco they've done it year in and year out. They've beat in-county teams, but you got to give credit where credit's due. Eau Gallie showed up, and they were not afraid of the tall task of beating this Coco team, and they have done it tonight. That one thrown into coverage and is incomplete.
Intended for number 11, Hawkins. Just in.
I'll tell you right now, the schedule for Coco, they're not going to get any easier. They got Norland coming up. They got Apopka coming up. Those are going to be two big-time games too. So schedule not going to get easier for Coco. They're going to have to to tune some things up, mainly on the offensive side of the ball. I would say the defense has looked okay. They really weren't able to slow down the X's, and that's really what it was. It was Larice and Corbin who really teed off.
Yeah, and if you talk about their schedule, actually they go to New Orleans, though, don't they?
Yep, they go to New Orleans. That's not going to be an easy one at all. Silverzon steps back, throws middle, and nearly intercepted. Caden Jacquez had a chance to pick it off right there. That makes it 4th down. 27 seconds left in the ball game. And this is, 3rd down. 27 seconds left. Eau Gallie would love nothing more than to end this with an interception and say, you know what, we just absolutely dominated on Coco's home field.
Yeah, and you know, they're going to rub this in the entire season. I won't see these young men's social medias because they're definitely going to have a field day.
Silverzon goes to the end zone, and yes, it is. It's picked off, and who else? Xavier Larice.
Have yourself a night, fella.
And honestly, whatever the comments say, forget about it. It's Xavier Larice. He's the Friday night locker room player of the game.
Mr. Do Everything.
3 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. My goodness. And he just put the nail in the coffin right there. There's 15 seconds left in this ball game. Eau Gallie is going to take a knee and end this game. All the fans now are clearing out of the stadium. Terry, any last thoughts about this one other than what Coco has really not been able to show on the lack of the offensive side, or is it more of a compliment to the stellar defense of Eau Gallie?
I think it's a combination of both, but I'm going to lean more towards the stellar defense of Eau Gallie. These young men came out and stepped up because you're not at home. You're in Coco. You're in enemy territory, right? And they came here and they got 3 turnovers, and they're without their starting quarterback. I know we mentioned that before, but quite honestly, these young men wanted this game, I think, more than what Coco did. Because Coco saying, yeah, we're Coco. We've won a few state champions. We've done these different things. But Eau Gallie was like, look, hey, we're here, and we're here to stay. And this goal shows it when they have just now beaten Coco 25-13.
Coco drops this one. They'll fall to 2-3. Eau Gallie will move to 3-2, ending Coco's 6-year, 28-game straight in-county streak. So that's the final here. Once again, thank you all for tuning in to the Friday Night Locker Room on Space Coast Daily. Stay tuned for post-game coverage. Right after this, we'll have an interview with